Let's see how 5 years of back-breaking labour makes them perceive their apparent mental illness. Appearing on stream with just a sheet over your head, 2 eyes cut out. Oh, I'm a ghost. Oh, these, dude, this is gonna make me. I'm gonna get it, bro. I'm gonna lose it, man. You don't have DID, you sick freak. You got some other fucking disorder. You're banged to rights, you fucking loser. I'm touching the gok I'm touching tips with the gok, but we're not getting into it right now. But just know that's in there, okay? So, for those of you who don't know, Dissociated is a channel who is known for having what is known as dissociative identity disorder. The idea being, it's what used to be called multiple personality disorder, okay? Now, within psychology or psychiatry, whatever you want to call it, there is, you know, a very rare condition that they used to call multiple personality, that they call dissociative identity disorder. There is much debate on how real a condition it truly is. But, you know, in the form that they look at it and they consider it, it's apparently a condition that is associated with, you know, blackouts, memory loss. It's a very like debilitating condition, and the people that like have that sort of thing, or they attribute to having that sort of thing, live very terrible, horrible lives. Who, and you know, it's like they have a memory loss. They got blackouts. They can't remember this. They can't remember that, and they live a shitty life, basically, right? But nowadays there is a new phenomenon, which is the online TikTokization of this, where it's not like that. And the actual, what it is now apparently, is it's a cool little condition that you have where you're what's known as a system, and you've got a series of alters being your alternate personalities, and they can come to the forefront in a variety of wacky ways, and they've all got different, unique, distinct personalities, and they've got different names, and they dress differently, and all this stuff, right? So very cringe TikTokization of some alleged psychological condition that exists. And yeah, I've covered this person before. This is exactly what they've got. And I think, particularly with the more recent videos, it seems pretty clear to me that dissociated is now more than ever before just completely grifting off of their condition, alleged condition, which I don't think they've truly got, right? Because if you look at the way these videos are presented, this is supposed to be like some sort of educational video aspect. And I think arguably there's more of a point with some of the older videos that maybe, as much as I think she's fucking full of shit, maybe it was more trying to do an education type situation. But now, if you look at these thumbnails, it's just like obvious. Look, it's like presented like the back. I've said this before, by the way, but it's like the back of a VHS box. You know, back when you got like, or a video game, like a video game box, and on the back it's got like, you know, 50 levels, you know, cool gunplay, unique, compelling story, an interactive story, and stuff like that. Like, it's literally advertising the cool stuff on the thumbnail. You know, switch on camera, 7 alters. You know, types of switches with real examples. Demon alters, switch on camera. Like, what? What is this? And I think even if early on there was some effort to maybe do an educational thing, as much as I think this is all fucking nonsense, it just is so obvious now that you are just, you know, fishing for clicks, which would be fine if you were being honest about it. But like, there's a inherent dishonesty to all of this, you know? But yeah, look, so the latest one that I wanted to watch is this one. Hey, Moanful Spoon, thanks for the membership. Vampire Altars. Come again? Vampire Altars. What the fuck are you on about? So we've got this kind of animal altar thing, which has been discussed before. We've got demon altars. And now we've got vampire altars. It's like, at what point do people look at this and go, that are invested in this and think this is true, do they go, okay, well, maybe this is absolutely fucking absurd and bullshit, because there's no way you're going to be able to convince me that there's such a thing as vampire altars. What planet are we on where we're genuinely arguing that vampire altars is a thing that exists in the real world? You know, it feels a bit like this is a kind of continuation of, you know, the identity thing and then the neo gender stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm this identity, I'm this gender, I'm that gender, I'm that gender. I think there was unironically a vampire gender that apparently existed, and now we've just had that, you know, fitted into the model of the DID cringe grift content. Chud's altar is a got lover, right? Okay. So yeah, vampire altars apparently is a thing. So let's have a look and see what points we've got to back this particularly extraordinary claim up, shall we?
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video by Dissociadid. This video is part of a series on why specific altars may present in the way that they do, especially
okay, so what we got here?
On...
So host Soren, he, him. So this is one of the altars. Apparently this is he, him. It's so obnoxious, dude. It's so obviously bullshit. How does anyone believe this? It's so bullshit, dude.
Why specific altars may present in the way that they do, especially in terms of the form that they take. Another video in this series was about demon altars and why altars might present and look that way, and what the sort of metaphorical reasons behind why the brain may jump to this will help me. That can also be applied to this. Those reasons can also...
I think today as well, whilst we're on the topic, we'll also chuck in that video that someone dug up and put into the Discord of the previous, the guy that talks about it going over it, if I can dig it out. But from what I can gather, all this is like not rooted in any, like psychiatry is what do they call it? It's like a soft science, right? Like it's, I think is there like a replication issue and shit like that with some of the stuff they talk about. Anyway, it's got its issues as it is the point. But then this person is coming along and they're introducing like a whole other level of like pseudoscientific nonsense analysis onto the situation. Because what are you basing it on to claim that vampire altars exist and it's an example of the brain doing something? Sorry, he's hot. This is Soren, he, him, right? You could be, you know, mid-coitus and then become gay in the click of a switch.
Also be applied to vampire altars. However, we have some extra reasons here that are specific for vampires. If you stumbled across this video and you don't know what the hell's going on, why is this person talking about demons and vampires? What the hell's that? This is about dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative identity disorder is not a possession, it's not a made up, let's insert myself into a character role type situation. It is a dissociative disorder that stems from prolonged and repeated.
So yeah, this is like I think this is like the actual medical condition that they believe is a thing, and this is how it's described. But then it's like a bit of like a bait and switch type situation or something, because they'll explain it as per the whatever DSM shit or whatever it is, but then they'll switch to talking about like their shit, like vampire altars, which has got no grounding or basis, as far as I know, in any of the stuff that the actual psychiatrist people talk about, you know? So, yeah, it's a kind of very dishonest presentation of, here's the real condition, and it makes you think you're a vampire, which I don't think is a real aspect of it.
childhood trauma and often abuse. We have lots of videos on the channel about how this happens, why it happens, and the developmental stages that are required in order to develop DID. So if all this is new to you, please go and have a look at those videos. It will really help you understand. Okay, so what are some reasons that an alter might appear as a vampire? Some of these reasons may allude to certain types of abuse. Nothing will be described in detail, but words will be used to obviously name the experience of the abuse. If that's going to be difficult or triggering, please be careful, be responsible for your own triggers, and step away if this is too much. Some individuals who develop DID may have experiences of stalking, kidnapping, home invasion, robbery, anything along those lines, which involves somebody either taking you from your home or forcing their way into your house, or anything where you feel your space is not respected.
Doctor, someone was trying to break into my house last night. They left without getting in. But I feel like I'm a vampire now. Help me out. What can I take? Also known as Camden Gerard Davis syndrome. It's been a while since we've been able to use the Camden Gerard Davis emotes, so I think we should get in the mix with those.
This could even be things like just bedrooms, people coming into your bedroom when you don't want them to, especially as a child, bathrooms, maybe not having a lock on your door, anything like that.
As a child, someone coming into your... Yeah, they came in uninvited, unlike a vampire. Is it because you have to invite a vampire into your home and there's some weird trauma there with that, and you think, oh, if I'm a vampire, but then they're breaking into your house? I'm not sure.
That where you're unable to protect your space and who has access to you in that space. Now, part of the law around vampires is being unable to enter a home or a domicile without permission. For example, the alter is a persecutor.
Wait. Oh, Wait, what?
Anything like that where you're unable to protect your space and who has access to you in that space. Now, part of the law around vampires is being unable to enter a home or a domicile.
Bro, I just fucking said it. I literally just said that. This is not pre-watched. This is the first time I watched this video. So fucking predictable now at this point. Dude. Oh my god, this is... Oh, that's funny.
Without permission. For example, the alter is a persecutor that may reenact experiences of abuse or reenact behaviors of the abuser onto other alters in the system. Being made a vampire may dampen down.
One of my kids came to me with all this. I'd be like, oh, okay, tell me more. Okay, so you think you're a vampire? Oh, okay. Got these alters. Okay. Right, very interesting. Anyway, thanks for letting me know. Go back to your room and I'll phone for some help, okay? Hello, is this a psychiatric hospital? Yeah, I need to get one of my children sectioned, please, immediately. For as long as you possibly can. As long as it's allowed. As long as it's allowed under law. Jesus Christ, I think they're a fucking vampire.
Down on the severity of what they are able to do to give the brain some kind of relief. If they are unable to cross into spaces that other people own, other people's homes, whether that be inside the inner world or externally in the outside world, that can feel like a protective mechanism. They literally cannot come in. They cannot come in and abuse me because they can't come in unless I expressly invite them to.
I literally called it,
even if this alter isn't a person.
Bro. I literally called it. That's what it was going to be. Where is this in the documents, in the sacred psychiatric DSM-5 documents? It's just such bullshit. It's obviously nonsense. This is shit they've come up with themselves. It's shit they've seen on TikTok. It's shit they've read in some gay blog. It's just, how do people buy this? I guarantee you the comments are full of people saying how based and correct this is. Point of view, most of your system is vampires, and you just got called out left and right. Okay. You are mentally ill. You need to be sectioned. Next comment. Okay, that's not really that interesting. Non-human alters are fascinating. You are mentally ill. You need to be sectioned. What else have we got? What else have we got here? You guys are literally saving us. You are significantly more mentally ill than the other commenters. You need to be lobotomized. Next. We're fixing everyone's problems here, guys, okay? You're either getting sectioned or getting lobotomized. Those are your options. Jesus Christ, dude. Sitting on YouTube all day.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chud, I'd like to introduce you to my alter. Their name is Anne Frank, but all she will do is hide in the attic and whisper the Germans are coming. The Germans are coming.
Thanks for that, but listen, let's chill out with that. But thank you very much for the 333. Thank you for making non-human alters feel seen and validated. People like this need to be sent into a mine deep in the earth to conduct hard labor for 5 years. And then we'll go back to them and we'll see what they think about this little altar business that they've got going on, okay? Let's see how 5 years of back-breaking labor makes them perceive their apparent mental illness, okay? How come so many of these are women? Good question! That is a very good question. Why is so many of these people women? What is that about, I wonder? Anyway, let's try and get through this fucking video.
Persecutor, it's still, checks out the same way. It's an extra layer of safety. Maybe the person just wished that there were more people in their life and that rule applied to everybody, especially the people in their life. Another thing might be, you feel like you're dead, but you're still alive. For example, maybe a child had a near-death experience or an experience of abuse or trauma where they felt like they were going to die or were convinced that they were going to die. And then, lo and behold, they didn't. They're still alive, but the trauma from that abuse or that just traumatic experience, whatever it was, could be a car crash, could be, earthquake, natural disaster, war, anything like that, surviving it, but not feeling like you're really alive anymore due to dissociation or disbelief that you were able to get out of that situation alive at all. If your brain is unable...
I would love to know where she gets this from. Because I'm not obviously an expert in anything. I'm a retard, okay? But where on earth, what possible medical literature, which this should be based on being a mental illness, right? What possible medical literature are you going to find that's going to talk about fucking vampire alters, right? It's like the fucking Ayurveda stuff. There's probably some, like, dissociation disorder thing that publishes gay, stupid nonsense that doesn't actually have, significant credibility. That probably's got some paper they've written about, like, oh yeah, vampire alters are a thing, actually. Where are you published? Tumblr and TikTok or something. But I just do not believe that I will be able to find a document or paper or piece of information that would back up anything that's being said. It's just absurd.
I have a zombie alter from being forced to poke a dead mouse with a stick by my father.
Thank you for the $5. Appreciate it.
Able to comprehend that, especially as a child who's developed DID, then a creature that a child would be aware of from stories, movies, children's books, all sorts of stuff like that. Vampires are part of what kids know about, don't they? They might not understand what's happened to them. They might even remember what's happened to them in this experience of trauma or abuse. But they might know, I don't feel like I'm alive anymore, but it seems like I am. Maybe I'm a vampire. Maybe I'm a ghost. I don't feel alive. This is another reason why ghost alters exist, and we do have a video on that made by one of our alters who is also presents as a ghost. Another is
Oh my god, dude. Just do the classic. The classic on stream. Where the classic appearing on stream with just a sheet over your head, 2 eyes cut out. Oh, I'm a ghost. Oh. Oh. Oh, I'm haunting you. I'm the ghost. Oh, I'm not really here, or am I? Oh, I've got some ectoplasm leaking out of me, guys. Oh, okay, come on, that's low-hanging fruit.
For example, is constant hunger or craving. Vampires in stories and legends are described as unbearably starved, always lusting for blood, sustenance, something to make them not hungry anymore.
What? Yeah, this is very deceptive, isn't it? So obviously they're putting the words up on the screen, and to the casual or retarded viewer, I think what this does is presents the idea that there's some further credibility to what's being stated. Like, all the words are on the screen, and it's in quotation marks, right? Like, what is the quote here? Well, the implication being you're quoting some document or some sort of professional that's validating or backing this up. And it's like, no, there isn't a document, I don't think, that backs any of this up. This is shit she's probably read on fucking Tumblr and is lending credibility to it by doing the little quote thing.
You know, if you are a child who's experiencing severe or extreme neglect, or perhaps you have an eating disorder and you constantly feel very, very hungry, maybe you're being denied access to food by an abuser, or somebody just doesn't have what they need to feed you. Those feelings, those cravings line up well with the idea of vampire. Another thing in stories that may have been told to children, songs even, you know, scary stories around the campfire, movies, all sorts of stuff. Usually vampires are being hunted. Either they're hunting you or people are hunting them. Literal vampire hunters with, you know, stakes and everything like that. It's a big part of the fiction around vampires. So if somebody feels constantly...
Okay. Does anyone have... I had it in somewhere saved, but then obviously time's gone on and I've not covered it. But someone put it on my Discord, and it was a link to the full presentation of the guy we watched before, who was talking about how this is all bullshit, essentially. But I can't seem to find it. Does anyone have it? Can anyone link it to me? If so, please do so, and we'll watch it after this.
Like they're hunted, or they're constantly being watched, or they're being followed, or that somebody wants to kill them just for who they are, or, you know, someone's always got their eye on you. They may relate this also. Even feelings of like you're being hunted for sport in some situations of...
You're getting gang stalked. If you're getting gang stalked. Oh my god, dude. That sounds like you got another... It sounds like you're schizophrenic. They're after me. They're coming to get me. So I'm going to be a vampire. Yes, it was a prestigious university. And I think it got taken down, the original one. But it was a Google Drive link that someone put in the Discord. Yes, if you got it, please link it or whatever you can do.
Abuse games might be played where, you know, they might tell you to run and then give you the idea that it's possible for you to escape the abuse, and then they chase you and they catch you. Somehow feels even worse. The idea of having the ability to be free dangled over you and not being able to achieve it. This can also be applied to alters who are animals, especially prey animals, feeling hunted for sport to be either killed or harmed, abused. Also the feeling of being very, very drained, being sucked dry, literally having the life drained from you. Feeling...
I feel like that every day after stream. Does that mean I can claim to be the vampire alter? Sounds hot. It does sound a bit, you know. Ooh. Oh.
Like an empty husk, feeling like you're giving and giving and giving and giving, or having things taken from you constantly until you have nothing left. You are being drained dry from the soul, almost. The lore of vampires is that they're often stuck inside because they can't walk in the sun. If you experience agoraphobia or extreme neglect as a child and you were locked in certain rooms or the house or cars or whatever, an experience where you were locked in somewhere, trapped, or felt trapped and were unable to go outside, or you felt hidden or locked away or ashamed of who you are and you felt like you need to hide away, this could also relate too. Whether this be because it's a situation that was taken out of your hands or because you feel safer inside and you stay inside. Another concept is feeling very estranged from society, feeling other, feeling like you don't fit in, feeling...
See, stuff like that, estranged from society, right? This really lends credibility to this, like the goth type stuff, where previously people who felt a bit outcast and not really fitting in would be like a goth or something like that at school, and they wear black clothes and they'd be, you know, like a goth, right? Whereas now, obviously being a goth isn't really the in thing, but what you can do is come up with some sort of absurd mental disorder and use that as your kind of backing, right? That's the thing that you kind of relate to and present yourself as. Yeah. Yeah, I'm strange. It used to be I'm strange, so I'm goth. I'm a goth girl. But now it's I'm strange, I've got a severe mental health issue, and also part of me thinks I'm a vampire. Right? It's changed a bit.
Not human, feeling separate from everyone else around you. Like there's something wrong with you, there's something monstrous about you, there's something not right, something that makes you bad. Bad enough to be different. Probably because that's what you've been told, or because your experiences of trauma and abuse have made you feel that way, even if it's not true. And it's probably not true. And also, of course, on a very obvious level, vampires are believed to be myths. They're believed to be fiction. I mean, you believe what you want to believe, but generally they're understood to be myths. So if you feel very disbelieved, maybe you tried to speak to someone about your experience of trauma or abuse.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon.
This is it.
They believe you. They don't believe part of who
Yes,
you are, or you
Space,
have
thank
to
you.
hide part of who you are. And all these other things add up together, and you can tick them off on I feel like this, I feel like this, I feel like this, I feel like this, and all of it adds up in a child's brain is a vampire would experience all of these things. Maybe there's a vampire. And you have to remember when it comes to DID that when the DID developed, it would have developed in a child's brain. DID can only be developed in childhood before the identity has fully integrated in normal childhood development. Once DID...
So again, I think when she's flashing up that, and again, there is obviously a skepticism amongst the medical community about it. So I'm just saying this from the perspective of the psychiatrist people think it's a thing. I don't know what I think about it, and I don't have the knowledge to say otherwise. But they think it's a thing, and they present it as this. So she dips into that and presents scatters in a few details that relates to the actual medical thing that they've got in the books or whatever, and then elaborates on it with her own talking. But it all sounds fluid and like it's all one thing to lend this credibility to it. But there is no credibility to the shit she's saying. Where would I find this? Okay, so I want to learn more about DID and vampire alters. So where would one read about this? Where would one go and investigate and explore the science behind all of this, And yeah, I mean, obviously, I just don't think that would be a thing. Oh, did someone say level 25, by the way? Thank you for being level 25. If I missed that. Thank you. Appreciate it. There it is. Chuds, reached level 25. Thank you. Malingering. Yeah, malingerers.
has been developed, someone who already has DID and developed it in childhood can continue to create new alters throughout their lifetime. But it's generally understood through the theory of structural dissociation that adults and teenagers can't just suddenly develop DID. It has to happen in childhood, and that's...
Wow. So all these people that are getting it all got diddled as kids then? Is that what we're saying? Or something. This is such bullshit, man. All these people on TikTok. You're telling me there's a spate of people that got DID now. All had some sort of childhood trauma that is now being presented in the way that we see it. Oh my God. I can't bear this shit, man. I just hate pseudoscience. This isn't even pseudoscience even, I don't think. I don't think there's even necessarily an organization that is actually putting this out, like with Ayurveda or homeopathy or something like that, right? I think she is pulling this off Tumblr, or in some cases, straight making shit up on her own.
That's the current running theory. Not to say that this might not be proved wrong in the future or may change in the future, but as of the time of filming this, that is what I know to be correct. The theory of structural dissociation is very, very interesting if you don't know about what that is. We don't have video on it yet, but we do have lots of videos where it's mentioned within the video and explained within the video, but there are some great resources in our description, which I would suggest you look at if you would like to learn about structural dissociation and how that relates to dissociative identity disorder specifically. If you would like some ideas, suggestions, pointers on why you may have a specific alter in your system or why you are a specific alter in your system that presents as something other than human, then please have a look at our series, and it will cover human types of alters as well. We're trying to cover as many as we can. If you are a member of our Patreon, you will be able to suggest and request specific videos and vote on other people's requests and see what videos are coming.
So it's like, go and watch the YouTube series, ad revenue, okay? This is what makes it so grifty, right? it's the aspect there where you're not asking for support because it's like you like my content or something like that. It's a specific thing that they will get that's linked to this idea that they've got this disorder, and they can go and, you know, ask for something to be looked at, you know? So it's like, go and watch the videos. That's AdSense money. Go to the Patreon, and you can choose what you know, suggest a topic. That's kind of a more direct thing of like, give me money, and you get the ability to have some control over the content. You know, yeah. We'll look at the Patreon. I think, have I looked at the Patreon before? I can't remember. Well, there's a line of thinking. So my thought process is she's having everyone on, and she's just making a shit ton of money off of this. But there is another school of thinking that I think is probably worth a consideration. And I think it's that maybe she genuinely buys into it and has convinced herself that she's got it. Is it Munchausen? Is that the thing? Like, clearly this woman is mentally ill. There's no deny. I do not think that someone can come on and present it like this without having some sort of fucking mental illness, right? The question is, what mental illness is it? Because I don't believe it's this DID shit. It must be something else that's going on there. So it could be possible that she's like insane and just genuinely believes what she's saying. But I don't know. I think she's playing it up at the very least with the camera, playing up for the audience, giving people something juicy to get their teeth into. Oh wait, that I didn't realize. Yeah, exactly that for this one, eh? But yeah, very skeptical about all of this, obviously, and the fact that this shill is so prominent, and the shill is rooted in the idea of gaining value in regards to you having this disorder, you know, makes it feel very grifty.
Coming before anyone else, you will get sneak peeks of the upcoming videos. You will be able to see bloopers, you will be able to see outtakes, you'll be able to see how our system works together to be able to create videos like this. You will also be able to get merch, you'll be able to get posters, all hand-drawn art, dude. Shirts, hoodies, bags, stickers, whatever you want. Patreon is also one of the best ways.
Dude, the shilling is crazy on this. I love a good shill, don't get me wrong, okay? And also, don't forget to download Raid Shadow Legends. But this is next level. Just an endless spouting of the various ways that you can give money to this person.
To support us. So if you would like to support us, you can join our Patreon from $1 or £1 a month, or the equivalent in your currency, and just pick whatever tier is right for you. We are also in a court case against a man called Sergio Costa. If you don't know what Sergio Costa did to us and why we're in a court case against him, we have a playlist called What Happened to Dissociadid, which explains everything. We crowdfund through a site called Crowd Justice to be able to afford the legal fees that are necessary for us to be able to get justice. The way Crowd Justice works is that the money bypasses us completely. Crowd Justice is connected to our lawyers, they send the money straight to our lawyers, and it can only be used for the case against Sergio Costa. We don't see a penny of it, we cannot touch it, we cannot use it for anything else, it goes straight to our lawyers.
Yeah, I think the Sergio stuff, I'm pretty sure, I mean, obviously it's her presentation of it, so I don't know 100%. But I think he actually did do some fucked up shit, if I remember correctly. It sounds like some sort of, I don't know. I think I covered it. Did I cover it? I think I covered it at some point, or spoke about it a bit. I can't really recall though.
So if you would like to support us in getting justice and winning our case against Sergio Costa, please consider donating to crowdjustice.com/case/dissociated. We would not be.
I mean, in fairness, I think the crowd justice thing, I think that's true, that it just circumvents the account and stuff. So, and I do think that she is in some sort of legal case. So, I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not saying what to do one way or another. I'm just saying I don't know if this is a Keffel situation. Just donated. Well, give it to me instead. What? I'm here providing some banging content here for you.
Be able to do it without you. Please don't feel pressured to donate if you are unable to, or you just don't want to. Another way to help would be sharing the Crowd Justice link,
my God.
Sharing what's happened to us, sharing the videos where we explain what he did and how we've been fighting for justice.
If you can't give me money, send it out and get someone else to give me money by watching a video or giving some money to crowd. Dude, so next level shilling.
This against him for 4 years. Anything helps. And we appreciate anything that you find in the goodness of your heart to do. And if you don't want to do any of that, that is fine too. Please like, subscribe and ring the bell to support the Dissociative project, and we hope to see you soon. Stay tuned for the next video. Lots of love, everybody. Bye.
Okay, anyway, guys, I've been looking to find a place to do this, and now is as good a time as any, having just watched that. So let's do it. We have got here the video, which is the thing I was talking about. Okay, it's the full presentation.
Good afternoon and welcome.
So obviously it's a bit janky. The sound is a bit, you know, meh. And I think the actual presentation is like a slideshow. Like for some reason the video doesn't work properly. But this is obviously, you know, the video, which I think caused a bit of a stir when it got put up. And there were lots of like the TikTok did people that freaked the fuck out about it. And I think the video ended up getting taken down. But yeah, shill better than her. I can't, dude. I don't know how many more ways I can shill. I'm doing my best over here, okay? Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to support the stream, we've got possibility of maybe getting the bars filled up today, but obviously support me where you wish. But if you want to chuck a super chat my way, bits, Twitch subs, memberships, kick subs, that would be great. And also on top of that as well, we do have a sponsorship running at the moment for Raid.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Donate to Chud's Patreon and you might get a one-on-one convo with Big Greg, his alter.
Very true. That's possible. Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for the $5. And if you want to support the stream, my Patreon. Guys, subscribe to my Patreon for absolutely nothing. There's no additional benefit that you will get, okay? All you get is the feeling that you're supporting me, which is worth its weight in gold, as far as I'm concerned. And you can chuck as little as $1 a month at me on there to get absolutely nothing but a good feeling in your heart, knowing you're supporting me. I just copied and pasted the stream title. That was a mistake. This is what I meant to copy and paste. It's a pay what you want system. By the way, do you know where I got that from as an idea? Jim Sterling. In my defense, it was before he transitioned. Okay, in my pure defense. So it was back when he was, you know, normal. Well, gay. But anyway, thank you very much for considering my shill. Also, on top of that as well, if you do want to take that support to another level, but you don't really want to dip your hand into your wallet, this applies to people who, you know, even people that have got to level 12, and you're like, oh, getting to level 12 was really fun, but I've kind of taken a bit of a break. Maybe I want to continue on. Well, guess what? You can get to level 25, and it supports the stream even more. Wowee! So, consider downloading Raid Shadow Legends from this link. Play the game, hit level 25, massively supports the stream. You know, yeah, listen. If you want to buy some shards, that's another matter. That's your discretion, okay? I'm not going to shield the shards. That's too much, dude. Come on. Become addicted to Raid Shadow Legends. Monetization today. What have you got to lose? Don't ask Bumba that question. Anyway, there's the shill. Thank you very much, as always, for your support. You know, we'll watch this video. I'm off for a few days after this. I'm thinking about, because I'm off again this next weekend. I'm thinking if I can maybe do a stream on Tuesday. It's my birthday, you see, and I like doing a birthday stream for you guys. So I think as I got the weekend off, I'll try and see if I can stream on the Tuesday next week. But this week I've got to look after the kids, so no extra streams this week, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'm turning 38 years old. I'm very old. I'm decrepit. I'm old and decrepit. Yes, next week. Next Tuesday, 25th of June. Introduce your kids to the Did Lady. Well, I've already found one time my daughter watching Sniper Wolf. And it's like, you know, all she sees is like a nice lady covering funny TikToks. So, you know, I mean, you're not watching that bitch. Don't you know what she did to Jack's films? Chuck the tablet across the room. Yeah. She's, you know, kids are going to end up watching stuff that I mean, as long as it's not inappropriate, it's fine, I think. Tell her the drama. Well, I actually had a bit of a, you know, non-conventional take on this. I kind of aligned more with like Tommy C's take, looking back on it, where it was like, look, what Sniper Wolf did was obviously wrong, but people were acting like Jack's films was like a completely innocent actor in all of it, and it's like, dude, he was like obsessive over this. He was like doing a whole channel dedicated to fucking shitting on her. Doesn't deserve to get his house posted, but fuck me, he was going in. It was pure hater shit. Sam Hyde was right about it, I know. I think we put a segment out because there was like not much content knocking about at the time. But yeah, we put the Sam Hyde segment out. People didn't like it. People were very upset and were like, "Oh no." But yeah, Sam Hyde had a really funny take on it. I've watched that like 5 times now, where he's just mogging. He's just totally mogging Jack's films, dude. Anyway, come on. Let's keep focused. Let's get into this. I'm meaning to watch this. Hopefully this should be some fun content. So this is the presentation where they're critical of all the sort of like dissociated style TikTok people do have, you know, saying they've got this condition. So let's get into it and see what's what, shall we? Thank you very much to Hellwaster from chat for getting this out there for us to watch. Appreciate you.
Welcome to Grand Rounds at McLean Hospital. My name is Vonna Davis. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner at the Hill Center. I'll give people a moment to get situated. Thank you to all who are joining via live stream, as well as to those who are present with us in person today. It is wonderful to see you all. Please note that for the question-answer portion of today's Grand Rounds, we will be accepting questions from our on-site attendees only. If you have a question or comment, please raise your hand and wait for the microphone to reach you so that our virtual participants are able to hear your question. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to introduce Dr. Matt Robinson, who will be speaking with us today about social media and the rise of self-diagnosed dissociative identity disorder.
Let's go.
Dr. Robinson is an instructor in psychology in the Department of Psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. At McLean Hospital, he is the director of the Outpatient Trauma Clinic, director of clinical services at the Hill Center, and operations co-director of McLean's Trauma Initiative. Dr. Robinson completed his doctoral training at Columbia University. He completed pre-doctoral training at the Manhattan VA and his postdoc at the Boston VA. There, he worked with veterans struggling with the after effects of childhood and combat-related trauma, including PTSD and
I actually don't know the story of why this got taken down. All I know is this got posted, and it was like a medicalized analysis of the situation. And yeah, at some point it got taken down. And apparently it may be to do with people like going after the guy or something. I don't really know. But does anyone have any information about that we can look up?
Association. He is a member of the Dissociative Disorders and Trauma Research Program, collaborating on research aimed at understanding treatment outcomes, phenomenology, and assessment of PTSD and DID. He is also on the scientific committee for the International Society for the Study of Trauma and Dissociation. Dr. Robinson teaches within the trauma curriculum for the MGH McLean Adult Psychiatry Residency Program. He is also a well-respected speaker at local and national events. It is my great pleasure to introduce Matt today. He is not only an accomplished clinician and educator, but also an exceptional mentor. Matt is uniquely gifted in communicating his passion for treating trauma across arenas. On a personal note, working with Matt has been my great honor. His warmth and calming, confident presence are a consistent assurance to patients, students, and colleagues alike. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Robinson.
So today I'm going to be talking with you about dissociative identity disorder, increased social media representations claiming DID, and the implications for patients, clinicians, and researchers. And I want to be clear at the outset that I cannot, from afar, verify or deny who does or does not have DID, and I'll be showing examples of online content for illustrative purposes only. I don't claim to know anything about the individuals portrayed beyond what they share freely and publicly online. I work with a team of clinicians and researchers at McLean in what we call the trauma continuum. This includes the partial hospital program at the Hill Center, outpatient care, and the dissociative disorders and trauma research program. We recently completed renovations of the Hill Center building on the Belmont campus and are now all co-located there.
See, the thing that I think is true, and you know, because people are very dismissive of DID, and it's like, I get it, right? It's a bit, there's even disagreement in the medical community about what it is, and it's like, but I do think there's probably some sort of like mental shit that happens to someone when they're a kid, and it leads to some sort of deep-rooted issue that exhibits in like insane ways. And it's almost like they've gone, oh, that's DID, multiple personality disorder, that's DID, and that's what they used to refer to it as, you know? So yeah, I think there probably is something there, but it's like very rare. Exactly. It's like 0.0000001%. It's such a rare condition. Obviously all the TikTok stuff is bullshit, right? As far as it seems, and he's going to talk about it. But there are very, very rarely some people that have got some sort of fucked up brain from childhood trauma. And it's almost like, it feels like that's not a good way of describing it. I mean, it used to be called multiple personality disorder. Now they call it DID. And it's like, that's almost like, we'll call it this, right? That's what it is. And it's probably like a lot more complicated, and there's probably a better language to refer to it and talk about it. But that's just the kind of umbrella that it falls under, you know? But yeah, I think that people have a resistance to it as a concept entirely because it's like becomes so absurd on the internet. And I think there's just some truth that there's some fucked up people out there, to put it simply, right?
Our trauma continuum is transdivisional, both part of the Division of Women's Mental Health and the Division of Depression and Anxiety. And we help people at all stages of the recovery process. We're conducting cutting-edge research, as Ivana mentioned, on the neurobiology, phenomenology, and treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder and dissociative identity disorder. I want to start by saying that I have a number of my own patients who I treat for DID and have always understood their symptoms and reported experiences to be genuine and rooted in early life experiences of trauma. The people I work with are reluctant, conflicted, confused, ashamed of what they experience and report. They look and act nothing like the sensationalized media representations created for entertainment purposes.
Yes.
With drastic change.
Like, you can imagine they're probably like they're probably wretched little freaks, aren't they? You know, probably totally perplexed and confused about what is going on. No clue what happened yesterday. You know, shaking and shivering at the thought of the mental illness they're, you know, fucked up by. Not, oh, hey, it's my alter, you know, Soren. My alter Soren is at the forefront today, guys, and I put my makeup on all nice.
Changes in appearance and dress. Many people we treat for DID report feeling distraught and confused when they see social media and online content created by people identifying with the diagnosis. They can't imagine why anyone would promote their symptoms openly.
Bro! Oh my god, dude! So these people that are doing this are even negatively impacting actual people that have got this fucked up thing going on, dude. That's crazy! No way! So they're actually oh my god, they're actually causing harm. By their fucking lefty logic, this is like a harm cause to some mentally ill person.
The daily struggles and symptoms they desperately try to keep under wraps are being displayed in social media content, often in fun, playful, and engaging ways. This does not make sense to them, and it further confuses their already confused and conflicted sense of self and deepens their sense of shame. In the following video, we see a partner guessing which part or alter is fronting, and I'll say more about those terms in a bit. But I want to start by showing you an example of how online presentations contrast with what we know about our own DID patients.
Dude, I've been looking, I've ever since I've talked about DID stuff, I've been looking and wanting a guy, a doctor, or anyone to talk about it in a you know, this kind of way. And I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is exactly what I've been looking for, but never really thought to have an opportunity to look at it. And now we've got it. And I'm like, yeah, this is precisely it. This is it. This is the thing. This bit's a bit shit though. It's like a slideshow.
Jay.
Yeah. Hey, who's fronting? Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Who's fronting?
Jenna.
Hey, who's fronting?
Caleb.
Yes. Hey, who's fronting?
It's Anthony.
And just so you know, it wasn't when he walked in the door.
Nope. Definitely not.
Yeah, we switched. No.
Well, you say it's a rare man, didda? Is it the man? Or is someone else pulling the strings in that relationship, perhaps? Anyway. Yeah, I know the video's fucked, but you know, we're gonna have to deal with that. It is what it is. The audio is a bit trash at points too, but the content is good.
I meant to say before that played, I think for the live stream, some of the audio might have been a little off with the video, so I apologize for that. For our patients, switching is often an intrusive symptom related to flashbacks or trauma-related memories, and are quite distressing. In this example, we don't see confusion or conflict about the switching. Instead, it's almost treated as if it's a game with her partner. We have been, in our own consultation service at McLean, inundated with referrals and requests. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. We've been inundated with referrals and requests from schools, parents, and our own adolescent treatment and testing services to assess for symptoms and offer guidance about adolescents and young adults, identifying as having what they refer to as DID, and parts, alters, self-states, and head friends. They are self-diagnosing as having DID, but many do not report a trauma history. And they often have elaborate descriptions of parts or alters that are almost character-like. They freely discuss these parts, displaying different manner of dress and appearance.
Oh my god, dude, he's absolutely eviscerating the online freaks. Let's go. He is wrecking every single one of them.
And so in this following video, I want to show you an example of someone displaying changes in dress and appearance in a character-like fashion. Asking viewers if they can identify the parts or alters, which they refer to as system members, based on their appearance.
Who's fronting, honey? Who's fronting, honey? Tell me and I'll open the cage and won't visit Tyrone tonight. What is that about in chat, eh?
One pair of moon boots, 8 out and out. And out.
It's so loud, dude. It's so loud.
One pair of moon.
These overt changes in appearance and dress are not characteristic of the patients we treat and see every day. So how do we make sense of people showcasing overt changes in their hairstyle, tone of voice, appearance, dress?
Oh my god, he's calling out this thing I was saying earlier, where they're all like these unique characters, unique, distinct characters, and they've got different dress, different hair, different makeup with women and shit.
And role, when we know from years of clinical and research work that nearly all patients with DID are reluctant to discuss their symptoms and tend to feel ashamed and conceal what is happening for them. Do these social media content creators actually have DID? If these are not cases of genuine DID, then what are they? And what role is social media playing in self-diagnosis and the perpetuation of these online depictions of DID that do not fit with our understanding of the diagnosis? I want to start with what we do know about dissociation and DID. Dissociation is the experience of discontinuity in conscious processing or a disconnection from oneself or environment in some way. Capacity for dissociation varies, and most people experience forms of normative dissociation, things like daydreaming and so-called highway hypnosis.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Where you're like, you know, right? So it does exist. Dissociation does exist. It's just it gets used by retards constantly for stupid reasons.
Trauma-related dissociation, on the other hand, develops to protect an individual from emotionally overwhelming trauma-related content. It serves to help a person shut off and compartmentalize what they are experiencing. DID is considered the most severe trauma-related dissociative disorder, and it's characterized by having recurrent gaps in memory and the recall of everyday events, important personal information, and even traumatic events from the past, and the experience of 2 or more distinct personality states, resulting in a significant discontinuity in one's sense of self and agency. These distinct states can include subtle alterations in affect, behavior, consciousness, memory, perception, cognition, and sensory motor functioning, so really almost anything. People with DID may report feeling as if there's another person in their mind that they experience as not me, so someone else. And at times they may feel like someone else is driving with a very distinct set of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. At times, they may not be aware of changes at all that are occurring. Shifts are subtle or completely hidden for most people with DID. So just to emphasize, we rarely see overt or obvious signs of change or switching, like depicted in the videos earlier. DID includes symptoms of depersonalization. This is the feeling of being separate from your body in some way, maybe a sense of observing yourself from the outside or from within. Derealization, which is the perception that things around you are strange or unfamiliar in some way. A lot of our patients will report feeling like things are dreamlike or altered. It includes amnesia, which is not about normal forgetting. It's really more about...
Wait, dude! Sorry to break off this way.
Trauma-related information being compartmentalized and kept separate so that the person can get through their day-to-day life without being inundated by the memories of the trauma that happened to them. Identity confusion is about feeling confused about who they are. And because there is separateness or the sense of having others' selves, this can be quite confusing. And then identity alteration. These are the changes in self-state. Often they are intrusive and unexpected, like I mentioned before. And most often they're provoked by some trauma-related content, reminder, flashback, etc. And this symptom of identity alteration is what many media portrayals have sensationalized. People with DID, the ones that we work with, are so afraid of their own thoughts and feelings and memories that they displace them onto a personified aspect of themselves. DID is really about the not me experience. So wanting to do anything for trauma to have not happened to them and to not have to experience overwhelming trauma-related content so that they can get through their day. As I just mentioned, media and Hollywood representations of DID, like the United States of Terra, Split, Moon Knight, and many others, have all dramatized and exaggerated the not me experience or the identity alteration feature in DID. And this has contributed to a great deal of misunderstanding and perpetuated many harmful myths about DID, including that people with DID might be dangerous, that they have the ability for extraordinary feats, that they have the potential for getting away with illegal activities, and that they may be unpredictable with wildly out of character.
Like at the end of the Split film where he becomes the Beast? Is that what he calls himself? And he becomes like stronger and shit. Oh my god. And then obviously the revelation that it's part of the Unbreakable series. And then the next movie was it Glass? Was that the next movie? God, that fucking sucked, didn't it? No spoilers. That movie came out like a decade ago. What? Yeah, they drowned, Glass. They drowned Bruce Willis's character in a puddle. It is just absurd. Like, oh. Anyway.
Behavior, and all of this would occur outside their conscious awareness. These myths are simply not true, and we do not see them in the patients we treat. Again, our patients with DID most often experience identity confusion and alteration quietly, subtly. They don't want people to notice that something has shifted or changed for them. They report feeling confused by the changes, conflicted about owning, remembering trauma-related thoughts and feelings, and feeling afraid of the unpredictability of how they might feel in their body and interact with the world around them. DID is considered a post-traumatic developmental disorder, and it develops when a child who happens to have an innate capacity for dissociation, which is likely a genetic predisposition, is repeatedly exposed to intense chronic trauma or abuse at a very young age, usually before the age of 6 years old. With their child's mind and creativity and capacity for dissociation, and in the absence of nurturing and soothing adults that can provide restorative experiences for them, they begin to internalize aspects of their environment. We see kids anthropomorphizing objects, having conversations with stuffed animals they think of as alive and real, and developing imaginary friends who they play with and communicate with. We see this in children with normal development. And at this age, children don't know really that can't happen, that that's not real. In DID, the same process occurs, and the process of personality and personality development is fragmented. And at times, those fragmented parts are, again, anthropomorphized and personified, so that trauma experiences can be displaced onto something else and compartmentalized. For example, a child who experiences ongoing sexual abuse can think, it's too scary, it's too awful, it's too overwhelming and dangerous to know what's happening to my body. So they tell themselves, it's not me, I'm not the one being harmed.
Oh, dude.
And this ability allows the child to get up the next day, go to school, go about their lives without being constantly inundated by trauma. And it helps them to stay in contact with the adults who provide food and shelter that they rely on for survival. It would be far too confusing and too difficult for a child to understand how the adult who provides that shelter and food is also the one who hurts them in unimaginable ways. and their survival depends on dissociation.
Okay, get back to the
child
fun parts, please.
child's survival also depends on keeping this process hidden and out of sight.
We get it.
And so, as was
Please,
once
get back to the
famously
fun
noted,
parts.
DID is really a disorder of hiddenness, and that's true into adulthood. Which is why it's surprising to see people online coming out or celebrating receiving the diagnosis, as is the case in this video.
Well, the problem you've got is that some of them will claim that they've got childhood trauma. And what it seems like is that, based on that, the level of childhood trauma that you need to have happen to you is that a despicable level of like sexual abuse and shit, right? Like, not just, oh, I didn't get dinner made on time one day or some shit. It's like, clearly, in order for that level of mental illness to set in at that age, it's got to be exceptionally serious. But they act like it's like a little bit of trauma in childhood will do it, and then they've got all their alters. God, what a horrible situation, dude. It makes me feel sick hearing stuff like that, obviously. I find it very difficult to engage with it, because obviously being a parent. But yeah, it's fucked. Ugh. Anyway.
I just got diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder a few days ago, and I don't know how to tell people about it or come out about that. So I've decided to attempt to JoJo Siwa it. You know how she came out as gay by posting a picture in that shirt that said "best gay cousin ever"? Okay, so I'm at the superstore, and I'm gonna get a cake.
Well, it said earlier as well. They were saying that the people that have actually got this disorder feel genuinely hurt and upset by seeing the TikToks about it and confused and stuff, because they're like, well, you know, it's a horrible disorder to live with. And then they get very distressed by seeing someone present it and celebrate it in the way that it's seen online. So it's like the people online are actually causing problems and harm, you know, certainly by the leftoid logic and analysis of harm, to people that have actually got it too. It's crazy. These supposed mental illness advocates, you know, are hurting people with actual mental illness. It's crazy.
A cake that also, this is inspired by Kai Robinson on Twitter, who had the congrats on the autism cake. I'm gonna get a happy DID diagnosis cake. Let's go.
Oh, we saw this bit with the cake, didn't we?
Excuse me. Could I get some writing on this cake?
Look at it go. I just did a little photo shoot. Oh my God, wish me luck.
Happy did diagnosis, and people look, people watch that and like, yeah, woo, you go, Queen. I just got diagnosed with schizophrenia. Let me go get a cake to celebrate. Woo! Schizo cake, guys. I'm a schizo. Let's celebrate. Who wants a slice of cake? Woo!
So as you can see, not much fear or conflict about receiving the diagnosis, and almost a celebration of being labeled as such. There's a long history of controversy surrounding DID, which is why it's important to consider. It's important to consider to contextualize what's happening with social media representations.
See, that's interesting, because this guy, I think, is presenting it really well. This is so tragic that this got taken down, because it's actually presenting a good case for people having this disorder genuinely. And whilst you can think, okay, well, there's obviously no certainty with this stuff, there's clearly people that exist that have got this trauma, that have exhibited in these crazy ways. But this got taken down. And I believe it got taken down, according to people in chat. I need to confirm. But I think it might have got taken down because all the did freaks on TikTok freaked out about the video. There's a bunch of YouTubers that were like shitting on this presentation. And yeah, I think that may well have led to it getting taken down. But I'll see if I can find it and double check, because I'm not sure on that.
And the contemporary trend of self-diagnosis. Dissociative disorders are among the oldest reported psychiatric problems, dating back to the late 18th and early 19th centuries. In the 19th century, there is documented controversy about whether hysteria should be conceptualized as dissociation, related to psychological, most often sexual trauma, a product of frustrated, repressed sexuality, or an artifact of suggestion among impressionable women. At this time, Charcot and Genet believed traumatic experiences were central to dissociative phenomena. They developed a psychotherapeutic model whose basic elements are reflected in our contemporary understanding. I'll talk about the trauma model in a bit. Records regarding Charcot's patients document that they experienced significant trauma, including wartime events, contributing to his belief that trauma is at the center of dissociation. And Freud, while initially agreeing with this formulation about hysteria, famously changed his mind, arguing instead that disavowed memories of childhood sexual trauma were really about Oedipal fantasies. After Charcot, Genet, and Freud,
God.
and others, dissociation received little attention until early in the 20th century, with some important and notable exceptions during war times. During and after World War I, hysterical and dissociative symptoms were observed among male soldiers, which was referred to as shell shock. Dissociative symptoms continue to be observed and documented in every war since, all up to even today's conflicts. In the 1950s, multiple personality disorder was added to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, or the DSM, which is what we use for diagnosis. In 1960, there was a systematic psychiatric attention paid to childhood maltreatment, drawing attention to how abuse and trauma may contribute to dissociation. And feminist scholars, psychologists, and psychiatrists debunked the Freudian theory that reports of childhood sexual abuse were really about Oedipal fantasies. Both of these changes provided support for the belief that trauma experiences is what leads to dissociation. Publication of Sybil and the subsequent movie in 1976 drew attention and public interest in multiple personality disorder, resulting in more cases being identified and contributing to some skeptics' belief that social influence and contagion is at the root of DID.
Oh, interesting.
In 1980, the DSM-3 added PTSD with psychogenic amnesia and created categories for both somatoform and dissociative disorders. But in the early 1990s, skeptical views of the dissociative disorders emerged with the rise of the false memory syndrome. It was introduced by an organized group of people who had been accused by their children of childhood sexual abuse. Lawsuits ensued against mental health providers for implanting false memories of trauma and abuse and creating iatrogenic dissociative disorder diagnoses. With the DSM-4 in 1994, dissociative amnesia and fugue replaced the word psychogenic. And multiple personality disorder was replaced with dissociative identity disorder, which remains true in our most recent edition. This change to the DSM reflects that DID is not really about having many personalities. What it is never developing a fully cohesive and consolidated felt sense of self across contexts. The most recent decades, in the 2000s, have seen numerous research advances resulting in significant amounts of evidence supporting and maintaining the validity of the diagnosis. But false memory views continue to have considerable sway and following in standard psychology textbooks and medical training. These are perpetuated by the media and by some mental health professionals. Continued media portrayals of sensationalized DID, of course, have not helped. And the recent trend of self-diagnosis and advent of social media representations have continued the legacy of delegitimizing DID. And so still today, at the heart of this controversy are two models of dissociation. One that asserts DID is related to trauma and that reports of childhood abuse are genuine and true.
I mean, listen, this is all very, deep, so I'm not really, I don't know what to make of it. I'm not a doctor. I mean, this guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. I'm sure there's other doctors that would disagree with this and have a contentious perspective on this, so I don't know what to make of it one way or another. All I know is this. I'm certain that there's some people that are fucked in the head. Okay? And that's the long and the short of it for me. Done.
And one that believes that dissociation and trauma memories are largely made up or false due to fantasy proneness and suggestibility. So the trauma model of dissociation holds that dissociation evolved as an adaptive aspect of humans' psychological and physiological response to threat or danger, which allows for automatic unconscious behavior, numbing of pain, and disconnection from traumatic experiences to make space for focusing on survival and one's immediate needs. In terms of DID specifically, the trauma model, like Clough's four-factor model, suggests that it arises from abuse and neglect during childhood, where development of DID depends on numerous factors, including not having social support, vulnerability due to prior prolonged abuse or trauma.
I think I'm going to skip some of this, only because it's quite long, and there's some other shit here that looks interesting in regards to how the video got taken down. So we'll skip through a bit, get some other interesting bits, and then look at the story of how it got taken down. Because, I'm just going to say, okay, this guy seems to talk about dissociation a lot. That all seems fine. Go and watch it if you wish. Okay. When does he get back to the funny TikToks? Oh, here we go. We're gonna get up to it here, I think.
State, they look like they have PTSD with a dissociative subtype, and when they're in a self state that's more trauma related, they look more hyper aroused, like classic PTSD. This finding is the beginning of demonstrating that DID actually has a unique neurobiological fingerprint. Social media and online platforms, including TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and so on, have ballooned with DID-related content. Across these platforms, users with or claiming to have DID are making extremely popular content and attracting billions of views. They're creating distinct fandoms, communities, and subcultures. And the online content that they create usually arouses curiosity, surprise, humor, and disbelief. And while there's long been an online presence for DID, people identifying as having DID, these communities were somewhat niche. And social media platforms have changed that, reaching billions worldwide.
Oh.
And viewing or liking content related to DID means that people are confronted with more of the like. Additionally, COVID-19 and the pandemic has not helped by driving us all to spend more time online, especially youth. So young people that were used to gathering at school with friends were more isolated and sought out community and connection that they were missing online. DID-related content specifically has been viewed billions of times across platforms. And so these are just numbers from TikTok. So using the hashtag DID, we see 2.5 billion views. Hashtag dissociative identity disorder, 1.3 billion views. Hashtag DID system, 940 million. And there are many other hashtags that you could look up with high numbers as well. Notably, I did a talk 4.5 months ago similar to this.
That's insane. What the fuck, bro? Billions of hashtags for this. For a condition that is like very slimly diagnosed and barely anyone has. Just on TikTok as well. This is a social contagion 100%, right? You're young, you see some person say they've got DID, it looks cool and fun, and then all of a sudden you've got DID. There was even a write-up or an article in some magazine, Psychology Today or some shit, where they spoke about this exact issue. Oh, it's views, okay. But they spoke about this, it's still a lot of engagement, right? But they spoke about this exact thing of like online disorders and how diagnosis is happening and people are looking online and stuff like that. And how terrible it is, and it's bad for the industry, and people are coming away thinking they've got this, that, and the other when they don't. People are going into clinics and presenting with certain issues, but then on further investigation, there's like an incoherency, or it turns out that it doesn't match up to the preconceived understanding of what the condition is. But yeah, it's, you know, pretty wild stuff.
And when I looked at the numbers then versus now, they were, this weekend, 200 to 400 million times higher, higher by 200 to 400 million, which demonstrates the rapidity with which these trends are growing online. With the advent of the commercial internet in the 90s, evidence and information about DID has become widely and easily available, and it's created safe spaces and online communities for people who are trauma survivors, mental health consumers, clinicians, and researchers. And with vast amount of information, many of the misrepresentations.
Oh my god, dude. That is the most insufferable atheist Reddit take I've heard in some time. Billions of people believe religious stuff with zero evidence, so this additional belief isn't surprising. As you tip your fedora. Okay, good one.
And false claims about DID can be countered with true or good information. For example, our friend and colleague Olga Trujillo, pictured here with her new website, has a site with information and resources for people with lived experience and their family members. She also participated in McLean's Deconstructing Stigma campaign. And it's true that there's been a general destigmatization of DID online. This is a good thing. The dominant narrative is no longer a skeptical one, and that many of the old skeptical views are just rehearsed stories with old media being recycled and repeated. With greater access to content and information, many individuals may, of course, self-diagnose as having DID accurately based on social media or other content. But of course, the flip side to the pros include that there's a lot of inaccurate information out there, and that most of the time there are gross misrepresentations of DID and inaccurate self-pathologization and inaccurate self-diagnosis. Individuals, especially young people, may attach clinical significance to normal experiences. They might elaborate on or manifest symptoms of DID instead of acknowledging that they have another problem. And we see this often with socially isolated or interpersonal.
Lobeezy and Friends became a
Hey!
member. Lobeezy and Friends
Thank you, membership.
3 months of membership. Yeah, that is a big issue with psychology RN. There is a push not to tell the patient their diagnosis and just try help them get better.
Yeah, there's this issue where you have people who are literally seeking out a diagnosis. They're not looking for care. They just want the diagnosis. And then they can kind of underline it and have it as a diagnosis, right? Which is absurd. Like, what does it matter? Obviously, it matters because you can put it on your profile and then you can be part of that community. Like, some of this stuff, as much as it's easy to shit on the retards for being retarded, it's a genuine like lack of community and shit that I think causes this too. I think people feel disenfranchised, disconnected with their community, and they turn to the internet. And this is like another way with which to garner a community, is to come up with some disorder, and then you're instantly accepted into this group of people who will validate you and boost you up and shit, you know? And it's like, yeah, it's fucked. Oh, I've got visible back pain. I've obviously commented on the chronic illness stuff, and the thing is, some of it is like, some conditions are real. There's real conditions that exist. It's just, it gets used and lied about by people, right? And I think this is probably a similar situation where there's some sort of fibromaxa. Diagnosis is important. If the diagnosis is for some sort of medical benefit, that's fine. Of course, that's understandable. But some people, I mean, look at that woman who got an apparent diagnosis and then was out to make a cake. That doesn't strike me as someone who's looking for it for the right reasons. They want to get social media clout, right? But yeah. Anyway.
Personally challenged youth who struggle to connect with their peers in conventional ways.
Hey!
They create very elaborate inner worlds with friends because of how much they struggle to connect with their peers in the real world. Again, COVID-19 has not helped with this. It's increased social isolation. And this may in part help explain why we are getting so many referrals from parents to assess children who are claiming to have DID. Unfortunately, there's also significant online harassment that occurs with these social media influencers. And this harassment is obviously harmful to the person who's making the content, but it's also harmful to our patients with DID who might stumble upon someone accusing another person of making up their symptoms, which is a common fear that people with DID have, that they're making it up or it's not real. They're already conflicted and confused, and this just adds to that feeling that they experience. It makes the feelings of shame they have even worse. Social media, as many people will know, there are many dynamics that reinforce some of these trends. It's possible that social media is revealing new ways for individuals with genuine DID to express themselves. However, it's also very possible that the social media and internet trends are contributing to increased DID claims that are not genuine. And the dynamics of social media encourage this by rewarding people who create attention-grabbing content for likes or follows, regardless of how truthful or real what they portray is. It encourages self-categorization and connection to certain identities and networks. And it encourages performance of those identities to belong or fit in with the online community. And there's a significant amount of self-commodification where a person can actually generate income by gathering more followers in social cachet.
Oh, true.
One of the most popular TikTok accounts, the A System, which I'll show you in a second, has developed a wide following with millions of views of their online content.
The life of somebody with dissociative identity disorder. It's 8:30 in the morning. I'm pretty sure Asher woke up and got coffee, and I just switched in. Hey, it's Art. It is 8:40. Asher was just out, and then I switched in. Might as well get another cup of coffee. People always want to know how we know who switches in and switches out because we do have amnesic barriers. I am gatekeeper of the system, so I am able to keep track a little bit. It doesn't always work, especially with backup house helpers, but I'm usually able to keep track of who was out. I just might not always know what they did. It is 9:30. We are going to play some Zelda with our son. It's Chris. It's about 1 p.m. I'm not entirely sure who's all been out, but we've been really switchy today. I'm gonna have to ask Art because Art knows more than me.
Alex, it's about 2 o'clock. We had like a mini flashback, panic attack thing. We're fine. It's just we're recovering. So I'm basically just gonna lay us down and try to get us to relax.
Thank you, Alex. Now we're really tired. It's like 3, but we tired. I blame Art for staying up until like 1 a.m. every night for this. Hey, it's Art. After we have panic attacks and stuff, we're so tired. We're so tired now. We all just do our part and try to make it through the day.
Okay. So it's possible that...
Oh my god, dude, look. Malingering factitious.
Mad Mex became
official
member.
merch.
Mad Mex celebrates 2
I think I
months
saw
of
this
membership.
before.
So quirky tee.
Some social media influencers like the A system may be malingering or have factitious disorders. Malingering is the intentional reporting of symptoms for some external gain, such as money, or reduced legal consequences. And factitious presentations are when the symptoms of an illness are present or falsely reported, but not just for external gain. Usually it's for being in the sick role in some way. On this slide, we see the online merchandise for the website for the A system. And they also have a Cameo account. For those of you not familiar with Cameo, it's where you can book a personalized video, shout out for your birthday or special event.
Dude, this guy is shillmaxing. He's got a fucking carrier. Bro, that's crazy. That's next level. I was criticizing Dissociated for having a fucking Patreon. This guy's got a fucking Cameo account. Can you custom request what alter?
Event from someone famous or well-known. We also see another example of commodification of DID in this video, where the user has created bunny hats that she's often seen wearing, or they're often seen wearing online, created for followers to purchase on a newly created merchandise site.
The bunny hats are system handmade for a recent shop restock. Like to party, like to party. Keep up, like to party, like to party. Recycled fabric, super exciting. Like to party.
So again, just to reiterate, these are
Dude, the fact I need to watch that again. He's just sat there super serious and po-faced as that's playing.
Merchandise site.
I'll turn it down a bit though.
The bunny hats are system handmade for a recent shop restock.
Look at him looking at it. That's crazy, bro.
Recycled fabric, super exciting.
So again, just to reiterate, these are not characteristics of people with DID that we see in the patients that we treat. While some individuals are...
Yeah, it's like, imagine, like, it is embarrassing. Yeah, exactly. It's almost embarrassing to have to even address this. Some gurning retard freak pretending to have a mental illness they don't have for internet clout, and you've got to seriously debunk it. And it's just so transparent, dude. That fucking dissociated bitch was saying about vampire alters. What? This is insanity, dude. This is crazy. This is obviously absurd on the face of it without question. And you got to engage with it like it's serious. It feels like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Fucking hell.
Likely aware that they are exaggerating or fabricating some or all of the symptoms of DID. Some online users may also present with self-reported dissociative symptoms and actually believe that they have genuine DID. And Boone and Drazier use the term imitated DID to describe these individuals. Individuals with imitated DID may benefit from psychological and social gain in some way, and therefore social media platforms are ideal places for imitated DID to thrive. Examples of psychological gain in imitated DID can include developing a sense of understanding for identity confusion, not the identity confusion I talked about before, but who am I in the world? Who am I going to be when I grow up? Who are my friends? That sort of identity confusion. It can help with labeling of feelings or emotional states that might seem extreme or out of control. It can create meaning out of suffering from a sense of emptiness, and it can help avoid feelings of guilt or shame. The DID narrative helps these people explain frequent confusion about who they really are. Social gain can include receiving special attention or having people be infatuated with you. So again, thinking about social media and likes, that's very much
got it so well.
at play.
He's nailing it.
The experience of social gain may help explain why social media representations of DID where again, the goal is often obtaining as many followers as possible or likes, plays out. And there's a social cachet for getting more attention. Another example of what might be imitated DID includes plurality or multiplicity and so-called endogenic systems. Since the internet was created in the 90s, there have been online communities with narratives about multiplicity and plurality. AstrayasWeb.net, for example, was founded in the early 90s with content claiming non-pathological or functional multiplicity as an identity. For many, identifying as plural is central to how they see themselves, and plurality is what connects them with other people in their online community. So in this video, we hear someone describing and welcoming.
Oh my God. Panic attack, yes. That, dude. Now I see what was removed. This guy has these people pegged. What is it they say? A hit dog hollers, right? He absolutely, surgically, precisely nailed all of these freaks. And so obviously they freaked the fuck out about it. So he exposed them, they freaked out, and then eventually it led to the getting taken down. Because the gravy train, because you don't want to stop the fucking gravy train, do you? Fuck, dude, this is so... Bro, this is like so fucked. So this guy got fucked over this, or this video got taken out. When he's pegging them all. Not in that way, in, you know, the other way. They're afraid that he heckin' annihilated them. This is evil. This is pure evil, I agree.
Others to the plural community, offering resources and tips.
To the community, I definitely recommend looking up the Plural Association. I will see if I can link them somehow. Know that you're not crazy, and that...
Oh, by the way, after this, we've got some information about maybe what was taken down. So apparently it might have been that cake person that maybe had a role in it. So we'll look at that. And then after that, I think there's the kick thing that I meant to watch. We should do that too. We got time. We got time, guys. We got all the time in the world.
Best advice to you is to be patient with yourself. Understand that there's a lot to unpack with realizing that you're plural. And no matter your origins, you are valid. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And, you know, if you're wanting to communicate with your others, you know, the best way in our experience has been to just, you know, leave notes saying, hey, I want to talk to you, leave me notes, you know, tell me about yourself, what's your name, anything like that.
So almost a how-to guide to being plural. And people with DID, they don't choose this. They don't wish for this. The symptoms they experience develop out of need for survival. So some within the plural community identify as having non-pathological or endogenic multiplicity. I said that word before. And endogenic just refers to any development of multiplicity that does not have a trauma origin. Individuals claiming multiplicity often are creating very elaborate and developed parts that promote their plurality as a healthy way of their mind working. So it's an identity. Some people with plurality don't identify as having DID, but many, many, many do. And more work is needed to understand if these cases are genuine DID, imitated DID, or something else. Importantly, we do see differences between imitated DID and genuine DID. For example, in genuine DID, we see profound amnesia and identity fragmentation. Amnesia is for parts of one's childhood, but also gaps in memories for daily activities, recent events, conversations, and so on. We call these micro-amnesias. And again, amnesia caused by not wanting to be overwhelmed by trauma-related flashbacks or content that's happening throughout their day. They also experience in genuine DID a profound depersonalization and derealization, and that is often actively interfering with their ability to function.
Voting rights for alters now. I just think the Democrats are going to win in the next election, eh? That's all, you know, obviously they're doing the TikTok, you know, the progressive victory-esque social media influencing shit, right? Get all the TikTok influencers on board, right? All the alters get a polling card or whatever you have over there, voter ID, and someone could go in and give 5 votes. Because otherwise I'm going to vote Democrat. Easy peasy. Biden's a shoo-in now. It's over. It's over, Trump-tards.
When interviewing and assessing patients with genuine DID, they are reluctant and ambivalent about disclosing trauma or their symptoms. And they often appear dissociative or spacey, distracted and inconsistent in their mood and thinking during the interview. With imitated DID, on the other hand, we often see profound identity alteration and switching. Switching is actually quite rare in the way that it's portrayed online, and it does not characterize most cases of genuine DID.
Basically,
I'm going to show you a couple of examples of dramatized forms of switching, what you might see online, which again is not characteristic of the patients we see and treat.
Yo.
And so Tommy sat back and waited. We had just pulled in at a store that we associate with trauma memories, so Tommy didn't want to go in. Starts dissociating. Josh and Matthew move closer to front. Tommy leaves front.
Big Greg, no, not now. Those bloody Muslims. No, Big Greg, stop.
Carmen starts fronting. Tommy was trying to trigger Josh or Matthew out. Carmen grounds herself. This is an example of how we don't always know who is going to front. We found a...
And another example.
Coming on. I can feel it coming on.
No one in the body. Nobody's home. Nobody's home. Ugh. Anyway, why are you voting for those pufters at Labour? You want to vote for a real man? Get Nigel Farage as Prime Minister. Vote Reform. They're going to kick the bloody Muslims out. Okay, whoa, dude. Whoa, Big Greg, you're going to get me banned. That was an altar. That was a satirical bit. Okay, please don't ban me for that. Right, come on. And anyway, it wasn't me. I've got multiple personality. I've got DID.
Guess the player.
All right, so in both examples, we see the individuals having an uncharacteristic awareness of the process of dissociation in such a way that they can actually plan for and video what's happening. They're describing named parts that they're aware of. And again, the switches we see in genuine DID when we see them are subtle, often unnoticed by outside observers. In imitated DID, there's also an emphasis on an elaboration of self states and parts. We see people creating very creative and elaborate examples of their parts. I'll show an example of that in a second.
Hunter Avalone's ex-wife, when a second alter is fronting to cope with trauma. I fucking hate big black pissing cocks. Dude, what the fuck is that, man? That is insane. Dude, why did you say that? That's such a crazy thing to say.
Hello.
By the way, guys, so he's talking about, I mean, I wonder who this could potentially be relevant to. Huh? Any ideas, guys? Of what he's talking about are these, personalities being created and shit, whatever the fuck he just said. You know what he said. Interesting. Demon altar. Wow, look at all these. Look at all this crazy cast of characters, hey? Look, it's endless. Dude, yes, I'm so correct about this person. Look at the old thumbnails. And now she's moved to this sorts of format, literally selling it like a video game DVD case.
But imitative presentations also typically lack complex comorbid problems that we are commonly seeing in DID. And we don't see a lot of conflict or confusion about reporting trauma history or symptoms. So in this video, just an example of someone who's developed a really creative, elaborate way of showing their parts or alters.
They made little cartoons of themselves, bro. This is crazy. They're literally turning themselves into anime characters. Oh my god. I'm glad we circled back round to the TikToks. That's where the real content is. Bro. Maria, she, her, 36. Primary caretaker. I'm morbing. I'm morbing.
you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me.
Of course, there's the inevitable, yeah, this alter happens to be a minor. Yes, I'm an adult. Yes, it's a bit weird, but don't question me about it, okay? It's part of my disorder.
I want you, baby, my sugar boo.
I'm going to cut that a little short, just being mindful of time, so you kind of get the idea.
No,
I want to show one more
more
video and wrap up before taking some questions. In this video, there's the couple you saw before, but they're playing a game of Guess Who to find out what part or alter is fronting. And I shared this example to show, again, the very uncharacteristic way that people with imitated DID have awareness of their parts or self states and little conflict or distress about the process of having parts and switching.
Dang.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
All right, let's figure this out.
Okay.
Are you a guy or a girl?
A girl.
Okay. Feel about what you're wearing.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Okay. Are you younger or older?
I mean, I'm not old, but I'm not young either.
Do you like salmon?
No.
Oh, you like salmon? Right?
Are you attracted to men or women?
Oh, women.
If you called me, what name would you use?
Oh, fucker.
Hey, Jay.
That's about right.
So again, a very game-like way of presenting symptoms that would be quite distressing in genuine DID. I'm actually going to skip this too for time's sake. There was a recent case study that interviewed patients who had not been given the diagnosis of DID, and there were a number of findings, including that they were angry or frustrated about not being labeled as such, that they were relying on the diagnosis for connection and attention in their family and friend groups, things like that. So it's a more recent paper, just reinforcing this notion that there's differences between imitated and genuine DID. So it's incredibly difficult to distinguish between whether these cases are genuine, malingered, factitious, or something else. I can't say from afar, like I said at the beginning. And again, the video examples that I showed today, I don't know anything about them except for what they've put online.
Oh, dude, it's so annoying. Yeah, if this is unlisted, I'll link it though. It's so annoying that he's got to play so nice with it, you know? Like, I just want him to say, these people are total freaks and they're lying about it, but he's got to be so careful because he's like a doctor. Ooh, the Hippocratic Oath. Ooh. I just want him to light these freaks up, but he's got to be so, you know, silk gloves with it.
As clinicians and researchers, we know that treatment and assessment is incredibly difficult in these situations because many people respond with anger and defensiveness when they are told or if clinicians question that their DID diagnosis. Even if they don't meet criteria for DID, many of the people that we see may have actually experienced trauma, and so they may feel invalidated by not recognizing that in the way they wish.
The truth of it is, if you're going to present as having a mental illness you don't have, then you are definitely mentally ill in some fashion. 100%. So, yeah, there's probably some fucked up shit that happened that makes them want to do it, but not fucked up enough to actually get proper DID because it's not the right thing, right?
So at the end of the day, we have many more questions than we do answers. I do know that given the increased attention and number of referrals we're getting, that accurate online information and professional education are more important than ever. It's one of the reasons we've been doing these talks, just to make people aware. We're deeply concerned about social media representations and self-diagnosis and the way it likely delegitimizes DID for those who actually have the diagnosis and work with people.
The self-diagnosis thing is even touching on that too. Yeah, I think I'm seeing a clear picture here. This guy called it out very effectively. The freaks, you know, went mental about it and ended up harassing, you know, because TikTok's very bad for that. People actually do like crazy harassment type shit, and they ended up taking it down. And all he did was correctly and fairly call out all of this shit for what it is.
People. We don't want these representations to undermine the significant research and clinical progress that's been made in the recent years. So with that, I have references for the presentation, and if there's time for a couple of questions, I'll take those.
Hi, my name is Sam. I'm a chaplain intern here. I was thinking about what you ended on, the note about the case studies and some of the anger at being denied this diagnosis. does what people are angry about indicate in some ways, what they're using the mimetic diagnosis to receive, or does it give us some insight into
this is going to be a good answer.
What needs to be provided, or what other coping skills they need to have in order to, get what they're looking for?
Yeah, great question. What you said is exactly right, that for patients that we see who receive a genuine DID diagnosis, they are not excited about that. They'd actually be relieved if we told them that they didn't have DID and it was something else.
Okay.
We haven't seen enough, there isn't enough research or clinical evidence to say broadly what people who show up with maybe imitated DID might be looking for or might benefit from. I would say, kind of anecdotally from what I've seen and other people I work with have seen, is that it's often neurodiverse youth who are anxious, who
retarded kids,
who don't have a lot of emotion regulation skills, and having DID, claimed DID, allows them to not take responsibility for certain behaviors and actions. It allows them to withdraw into themselves and avoid feeling anxious and afraid in social situations. It connects with their already creative minds. So there's a lot of benefit for them to having DID, even if we know that that's not likely what's actually going on for them, and that they benefit from something like DBT skills or some treatment for anxiety and social anxiety.
Thanks so much for just a really quite remarkable presentation, and just also bringing this forward for people who are not aware that this is happening on social media. And it definitely is a lot of food for thought in terms of what is happening right now for a whole range of people. And to build off of the previous question, for people who are experts in trauma, such as yourself and others within the programs, it does seem to me that it may be that you wind up having another population that is going to also need treatment. Mm-hmm. You have the population, as you say, where who meet the criteria for DID as we understand it, and have had the types of serious early childhood maltreatment. But it sounds like there's now another population that's expanding and growing, to your point, that may be diverse in terms of what the motivating factors could be, including some form of trauma, and how now we consider how to actually approach, diagnose, and treat those individuals so that they can have...
Bro, one of the most annoying things is someone that asks a question, and it isn't just a question, it's an insane, massive thing. Like blah, 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 blah. Where's the fucking question? Just ask a question. You don't need to make these wordy statements. Just, it should be 2 lines tops, okay?
More successful function. So I don't know how you all are thinking about that, just given that you're already pretty stretched with what you're trying to accomplish. But I just wonder how you're considering that.
Yeah. Well, we're getting requests all the time. And so, at this phase, it's conversations that we're having with each other and kind of wondering out loud what to do. It's a bit of a minefield, given the existing controversy about DID, and then the online community is actually very intent on not having that identity taken away or questioned.
Dude,
so we did this presentation 4.5 months ago, and we actually had a bunch of people online make comments about the presentation, and they were quite frustrated and angry with the fact that we were questioning the validity. So a roundabout way of saying, I think people, even with a trauma history, that are presenting in this way with imitated DID probably don't need the types of classic trauma treatment that we offer, because they probably don't have PTSD and they don't have a dissociative disorder. So I think you're right, there's probably another cohort of people that need something, and it might be a combination of things that already exist, but it's not PTSD treatment in most cases. That we do know, or think we know.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Looks like we got maybe a minute, if there's, or less, for one more.
Right.
Hi, I'm Louise, chaplain intern. I'm just thinking about perhaps not recently, but just this emphasis on social media of empowerment for people with mental illness, and so I'm wondering how people with DID, what healthy empowerment could look like on social media in a way that's not doing this, but also still affirming for people who want to.
Yeah, that's great. We've actually had a couple of our own patients involved in sort of patient advisory.
Empowerment. Look, I think look, okay, I know a lot of you are very jaded, anti-mental health advocates, okay? I just think that people that have got like depression and actual mental illness and shit shouldn't be made to feel shit about it, right? I think there's a balance there. Like, I think there's a line between making someone feel really shit about it and horrible, which could potentially cause more problems, versus, you know, whoa, I've got this mental illness. Da, 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 da. It's like, okay, I'm sure that we can find the balance between, okay, you're not defined by it. You know, it's like you're not defined by it type shit, right? That's the stuff that I think works. Is probably good.
Groups
anyway,
for the hospital, for example. I mentioned Olga was in our Deconstructing Stigma campaign. We had another person with DID do that as well, Robert Oxnam. So I think there are very established and legitimate ways for people with DID to help destigmatize and provide good information.
Destigmatize is fine.
And that's not, I don't want to, there are online TikTok accounts that do provide good information. I probably should have acknowledged that more. There's YouTube accounts that do provide good information. So there is a space for that, and we do want people to be talking about and have awareness about DID. It's about, I think, doing it responsibly. And for our patients with DID, it's too distressing to have to sift through, like we can, like some other people can, to say that's probably not credible, that is credible. They're so anxious, afraid, and overwhelmed at baseline that you know, much online content is just unhelpful. Yeah. Thank you so much.
That was great. So that was McLean. The hospital was called McLean. Just ban me. I'm sick of, I'm not going to ban you for this. It's just like, okay, we get it. Okay, yeah, my AI face on whatever character. One a stream. Let's do one a stream. Okay. That's pretty funny though. Me as Spencer. This is the problem with AI stuff. Is it enables people to just spit out so much fucking content so quickly that obviously, you know, you can't chew it all. But some of it's funny. This is good. The other one was good. The Blackula one. Okay. Anyway, let's dig in a bit further to this then. So that was actually really interesting, and I'm glad we got around to watching it. So Eldotare is very passionate about this topic, one could argue. And apparently there's this video here.
So the other day I mentioned about a hospital that did a live stream and talked about the very serious detrimental effects.
I feel like I watched this, didn't I? So I'm guessing we're going to get some of the response here. So I think I've watched this already, but fuck it. Let's just
So the other
we'll
day
speed it
I
up to get
mentioned about a hospital that did a live stream and talked about the very serious detrimental effects on faking DID online. Now, as we know, a lot of the fakers were not best pleased. Who was this man from Harvard to tell us 14-year-olds with blue hair?
Please leave a bad review. McLean Hospital fake claiming did systems. Yeah, please leave a bad review.
How it works. Oh my god, what, has he got a god complex or something? Absolutely insane. To tell us 14-year-olds with blue hair how it works. Oh my god, what, has he got a...
I can't believe a quote, a accredited hospital would be allowed to post something so misinformative and offensive on their YouTube page. Dude, this is going to make me, I'm going to get, fuck it, bro. I'm going to lose it, man. These people, they're the ones that are causing the harm. They're the ones that are causing the problem. They're the ones that are faking it to apparently the point that people with an actual condition get bothered by it. And then they're review bombing and telling people to go and fucking harass and shit. It's just so fucking... Okay, dude. I don't want to get banned. It's grotesque. It's totally grotesque. It's shameful that these people are allowed to get away with this kind of behavior. And it's all supported and validated by a bunch of other freak retards that watch their shit and support them. You know, some doctor who is correct, by the way, and is so on the money, surgically dissecting all of these fucking freaks. And because they don't like it, a hit dog hollers, and then they freak the fuck out and go on to social media, tell people to harass the fucking hospital, and leave shoddy fake reviews.
God complex or something? Absolutely insane. is so dumb. Definitely on the 14-year-olds with blue hair side. You guys can't tell from my sarcastic voice. If you guys don't know, basically, there's a hospital in the US called McLean Hospital that did a live stream and yes, watched some TikToks, which honestly, I never would have thought in 1,000 years would there be a doctor from Harvard basically doing effectively just doing a live stream, reacting to these people. We've reacted to them in the past, and I can only imagine that doctor probably lost at least 80 health points while watching that. The damage is probably irreversible, and if anything, he should be trying to sue them. Well, anyway, the story thickens today. It has somehow got worse. Somehow, they're now literally trying to take action. And not just like a few people, by the way, like quite a lot of people are very upset about this because it has come to my attention that this happened the other day. Matthew A. Robinson's license. They want to revoke the doctor's license that did the live stream the other day. Let that sink in. Wild. Absolutely wild. And as you guys can clearly see, 441 people have signed. Now, before we get into the absolute garbage on screen here, I want to redirect your attention to some of the reviews because it's so funny, man. To me, it's hilarious. I'm assuming nothing.
Bro. Life ruination because a doctor said, yeah, this is fucked. I feel just so angry and infuriated that a professional doctor who's actually, you know, helping people out that have got an issue, issues, and he gets fucking hold over the coals for it because he's affecting the grift and interfering with their ability to make money off of bullshit and nonsense. Me, dude.
Thing will come from this. It baffles me to think that these kids literally think that they're an expert on mental health because they did one Google search. But here we are. We were negatively impacted by Semmer. Matthew Robinson presented. It was full of misinformation. It was full of misinformation. Cherry-picked clips to prove a personal point. I always like how they tried to use this as a defense. Cherry-picked examples. My guy probably just went on to TikTok and typed up DID. It's literally a massive cesspool. You don't need to cherry-pick those types of clips. And actually, Sarah Wilson, by saying that, you're in turn basically saying that the clips that he picked were ones of people faking. So kind of a bit of an ableist there. I don't really appreciate that, guys. Let's start a petition for Sarah Wilson. Get her banned. And use footage of diagnosed symptoms to further stigma. This was immoral and will continue bringing harm to our community until it is taken down and corrected. What do you mean? First of all, by the way, it has been taken down. They took down the live stream, which I actually feel is pretty sad. We mentioned that as well in yesterday's video, that they took down the video. The fact that these kids can just feel the need to go around and almost police the internet with their words, you know, try and bully people into submission, just really kind of pisses me off. By no means necessary am I saying they can't have this opinion, but to then go after people that literally have a different opinion about it, to force them off the internet is disgusting. Like, you're effectively just trying to take away free speech unless it aligns with what you're saying, which, by the way, is going to come back to bite you in the ass at some point. Once if your little group doesn't agree with one thing you say, should you be taken off the internet? This man is not a professional. He's from Harvard. He is a professional, but anyways, carry on. And this hospital allows its staff to spread false, harmful, hateful lies about real people. And let me just mention, one of the people that they showed a clip of with the people faking the ID had a merch store attached to...
It's so obvious. It wasn't about, oh, he's actually bad. Okay? It is, we've been caught. Okay? We have been caught out here. We've been caught with our trousers down, and so we're gonna, dude. I need to be careful. I don't want to get banned, but I'm literally fuming over this. It's just the fact that this guy's clearly got, you know, his heart is absolutely in the right place. He's probably dedicated his life to being a doctor to try and help people and try and help people get better. A very controversial, complicated area of medicine and this mental health shit, you know. And he was right. He was totally reasonable, fair, correct. And they're trying to tear him down over it. Like, he's actually helping the thing that people with the thing they claim to have. Listen, obviously there is another thing which this could be related to. We're not getting into that today, okay? But just know that this is a common theme that you see amongst niche communities with mental health issues, shall we say, okay?
His TikTok account. That's wild to me as well. Just imagine just straight up having a merchandise for like fake disorder. Anyway, yeah, whatever. Those are the people. These guys are just being lied to and literally believing anything that they see on the internet. In some ways, I feel kind of bad for them because it's like they're defending people that are just misleading them so clearly, who have never been his or any other staff members. Again, he mentioned that as well, but okay, sure. Patient or attended this hospital whatsoever, all based on his opinion and not on facts, science, or any evidence. That last bit, there was quite a bit of evidence. He basically said in the live stream that people that get admitted to his office or come in and speak to him literally have none of the same symptoms that people present online. And that's being really happy about it. Like I said, we literally saw a video as well about some girl buying a DID cake for herself because she was just so pleased. And why I understand that, it can be a nice bit of relief.
Anyway, I have watched this before. There's another video this guy did, which I think gives us more details. So I think the basic theory here is, yeah, so it got taken down because of a bunch of shit or something, right? And then there's this. So this, I think, is related to the cake woman. Did TikToker response to cancel hospital drama? Okay.
So, hello.
Hello. Wow, I really thought like this whole situation would have kind of died down around about now. I mean, it's been ongoing for the past week. We've discussed it a lot on this channel. I'm sorry if you guys have a bit of a headache from discussing this so much. I kind of do too. But we're back here again, talking about the McLean Hospital and the video that they posted a week ago. And well, some content creators are still not happy, and more petitions now are being made to try and take down the hospital as a whole, which again, we've already discussed on how we feel about that. And yeah,
take the hospital down as a whole. This is absurd. A fucking hospital. Dude. They make people better for a lot of money, sure, but like hospital, America, that's an America problem, but like hospital in principle is a place of caregiving and helping people.
Absolute ridiculousness of that. Quite a big YouTuber that claims to have DID talked about this, and her response, to be fair, she was in the video, so yeah, absolutely, she has every right to talk about this. I watched the video, and there's some points she makes where I see her point, absolutely, but also I kind of see a lot of the stuff that she says in this video as just a double standard, and almost a point of her not being able to really just take criticism and almost just doubling down. So let's watch pixielocks' response video to the McLean Hospital video.
There was a presentation given during an ISSTD conference back in October of 2022, and I believe that's...
Do you know what I feel like right now? You know that meme? It's an old meme now, but the guy's playing a game with a jump scare game, and he freaks out and punches a hole through the screen. I feel like that right now. I feel like if I wanted to, I could literally just punch my screen and punch a hole straight through the fucking middle of it. That's how angry I feel right now. Oh, dude, I don't know why. This is really, I don't know what it is. I'm so angry at this. It's the wrecking aspect, I think. It's the fact that it's so destructive to people that are actually trying to help.
Same presentation, or a very similar one by the same name by the same people, was just given in February of 2023 at McLean Hospital. This was just recently publicized in a public video on their YouTube channel, which has now been taken down.
Which has been taken down and completely taken off their website. All traces of it at this point are completely gone. I know a lot of people keep asking me to post the video. Guys, I don't have the video, it's gone. Or to send a link to the video. But yeah, that's long gone at this point. Bit of a shame that they took it down, because again, I don't know, I feel like they made some good points. If people that have DID and content creators themselves are allowed to make some ridiculous content as such as they do, I really don't see much of an issue as a hospital to then talk about that.
This presentation, titled Social Media and the Rise of Self-Diagnosed Dissociative Identity Disorder, is rife with harmful narratives that use real diagnosed DID patients and heavily implies that they are malingering. I was one of the people whose content was used to portray inconsistencies in what they know about their patients with DID. These are seminars that charge money for other professionals to view and to learn from. They also used content from the Gianu system, the A system, Pink Sugar Fairies, and the Sprite Company. All the content was taken from TikTok and was used as examples of suspicious, likely to be imitative DID. The presenter, Matthew A. Robinson, gives a quick disclaimer that he is not saying with certainty any of us are malingering, but this does not negate the message that has been very clearly spread and is actively harming the individual's features.
You don't have DID, you sick freak. You got some other fucking disorder. You're banged to rights, you fucking loser, okay? You went and had a cake made when you got diagnosed. You're fucked. You're fucked in the head. Oh, dude, I'm going to say something I regret in a minute. Buck, you are not mentally ill in that way. You're mentally ill in another way, okay? You're a malingering freak retard that has got another disorder. Oh, man, I can't do this, dude.
All in all, I feel like it's a very interesting topic to at least talk about and discuss. A lot of the videos that they claimed in the live stream that they presented had some actual weight to them. I mean, for example, pixielocks video literally buying a happy DID cake seems a little bit insensitive, not only to yourself, but also to the people that suffer with this mental health disorder. And with other content creators doing things such as selling a DID merch. It's weird. Like, it's just straight up weird. She says later on the video that, well, she's been a content creator and just because now she has...
Why are you making fun of pixielocks the day after she announced her marriage? Who's she getting married to? One of her alters? Who the fuck's going to marry that? Also, yeah, who are they getting married to? Exactly. Oh my fucking god, dude. Wait. Hang on a minute. What's going on here? Bit deceptive. Clearly the Slim altar is fronting here. Yeah. Fucking. Oh, dude.
Hello, Confetti Club. It is Pixie. It is finally summer again. Sorry, I just got jump scared by this little meow meow. It's finally summer again and we are home for a little visit. I thought I would vlog just a nice little personal week in our life at home visiting family. I just had a lovely little hangout with our best friend from middle school, Molly, so that was really wonderful.
Who's seen the end of the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? We need a Jack Nicholson solution, I think, is what is required here, personally. Oh, dude, I need to be careful, dude. I can't do this too much. Come on, that's ridiculous. I'm going to be sick.
Oh, was she just supposed to delete her channel and not carry on making money? And again, to like that argument, of course not. But you've basically made DID now your whole personality, and your whole channel is evolved around your mental illness now. And yes, some content creators, I feel like, at least exploit that a little bit for financial gain.
Of casting doubt on the individuals featured without their consent.
I also love this argument as well. Without their consent. Again, you're posting stuff online. I don't really know what you expect at this
Base
point.
take.
You don't really need consent. If you're happy...
Yes, you post a video online, presuming there's fair use involved, which absolutely that would be fair use. He's offering, you know, loads of fucking commentary and shit, and it is for educational purposes, all the fucking shit. Yeah, I mean, dude. What do you expect her to do? Hey, I'm just doing a presentation on DID, and I think you're a total freak that's lying about having it. Mind if I use you in the presentation?
Be enough to post this type of stuff on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Expect someone's going to download some of these videos at some point and react to them. You're putting it up in the public domain to almost react to. And again, they'll do like responses and they'll react to certain things themselves. You probably never asked for consent because again, you don't have to. Did you ask?
This is a bad point. Doctors need consent to provide professional opinions, whether or not it's posted online. They literally do not. What? Someone posts something on TikTok claiming to have a mental disorder. They preface it by saying, I can't speak to whether this person has a disorder or not, but here's some videos that speak to what I'm talking about how this doesn't match up with my understanding and my, you know, presentation that I see from patients with DID. Hey, Toby Fox. Let's go. The amount of ableism in this chat is disgusting. Very true.
The doctor for consent to make this video? Again, why would you? You don't need to.
I agree that imitative DID needs to be talked about and researched. I'm very passionate about this and I think this is a real issue.
Just not me though.
Those of us with it do not choose to be in this sphere. You choose to study this. You choose to be in this.
Oh my god, dude. Okay. We got another channel to look at, all right? I'm gonna save this for the back burner. It looks like there's some great content here. Can BPD be cured? 5-year therapy update. So apparently this person's got BPD, and I'm to believe everything they're claiming about the medical issues here. Yeah, not so sure about that personally. I think I'm gonna retain the right to have a healthy degree of skepticism about that, okay? Right, you definitely. I don't think you can cure BPD anyway, or any severe mental disorder. I think it's like kind of exists forever, and you're going to manage it, right?
Realm of dissociative identity disorder, but we do not choose to have to deal with this. There needs to be a base level of acknowledging that and respecting us as victims of childhood trauma that are trying to heal. No matter if we do it in a way that looks a little funky to you, no matter if they do it wearing a wig or using a nap or eating a cake.
Eating a cake. Yeah, okay, bro. That's kind of downplaying the situation a little bit.
I was just eating some cake. All I was doing was that. Can I, someone with DID not simply eat a delicious slice of cake?
Oh, really? That's interesting. I didn't know that. BPD is one of the rare disorders that is curable 100%. Bipolar disorder isn't curable, but BPD doesn't really result from a full-blown mind. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know much about it in that regard, but I'll have to take your word for it, okay?
What is the crime here? I feel like the issue was the fact that it said happy DID. Now, I find a lot of the things that pixielocks will say, she kind of covers her tracks a lot. And again, later on in the video, she claims that she now has autism. She self-diagnosed herself with autism. But she does it very cleverly, like the way that she'll say this type of stuff, as to say, oh, so many professionals have kind of lent towards the fact that I probably have autism. So at this point, I'm just going to say I have it. I didn't really know that was an issue to say happy DID on the cake, and then at that point it's like, well, guys, if I now say anything, I'm basically making fun of someone with autism. But then again, if you're not paying for that specific diagnosis, how can someone diagnose you the same way as you then claim in these videos? How are these doctors allowed to say that you don't have it? It just feels like a bit of a double standard there.
Let me explain what I'm referring to as negligence. The video of mine that was used was, of course, the cake video. The presenter expresses that what he knows from his DID patients is that they feel fear, shame, and conflict in receiving their diagnosis. I have already posted a video in response to that exact criticism that he expresses back in November of 2022. This video is titled Addressing Criticism About My DID Coming Out and is about the cake specifically. The fact that this researcher did not do the bare minimum of research to find this extremely accessible video astounds me.
Just because you responded to it doesn't mean then it just never happened. Oh yeah, come on now. I responded to this. So basically it just doesn't even have any ground at that point. Like, why would you even react to that? I've responded to it. It still happened. And I always see people having the argument being made that, well, I believe sometimes that's just how they cope with the situation. And yeah, bro, I understand that to a certain extent, but you really have to go out of your way for yourself to go to a cake shop and write on the cake, happy DID. Like, what? Come on, man. Like, bro, you cannot tell me that's a little bit off. Glamorizing and celebrating mental health, it's just so strange to me.
We're getting into the, there's no perfect victim, right? Like, it's a very simple point the doctor was making, which is very obvious. You know, the doctor's saying, I treat people who have got this, rare serious disorder, this complex rare serious disorder. They have these, all of the people I've dealt with this have these criteria. This fucking bitch, obviously didn't say it like that, this retard has gone and bought a cake and put DID on it. That doesn't align with my clinical understanding of it. I'm not saying what she does or doesn't have because I can't speak to that. I'm just saying it doesn't match, my understanding of it. What's wrong with that? There's literally nothing wrong with that, right? Again, the only reason that this got called out and people went to fuck with the doctor and fuck with the hospital is because he had their fucking number and they didn't like the fact they got fucking exposed. So fucking obvious.
They say that they don't, but I don't know what would be classed as celebrating mental health more than buying a...
Yeah, also, what's he supposed to do? Go, oh, let me look at the other video that you made where you actually explained away all of this that happened. It doesn't matter that after the fact you came up with some fucking cope about it. It means at the time you decided to do that before the criticism happened, okay? Because it's obviously fucking bullshit. Oh my God, dude, these people, man. Why am I so angry about this? I'm losing it. I'm literally furious about this whole situation. It's so wrong.
Happy cake to do with your mental illness. Like, what? Wild to me, honestly, guys. She ends up playing a few clips from that previous video, which again, I tried a few of you link me in Discord.
You've got to bring a more calmer person
to your
front.
I find some of it interesting, so I thought we could watch this part of the video as well.
First and foremost, biggest point I want to make is that I am not celebrating the fact I have DID.
Yeah. Don't let the happy DID cake...
Why are you so angry against neurodivergent women, Chud? Very simple. Because I am a misogynist and ableist.
For you guys. I'm really saddened by this. I'm definitely not celebrating it. No. Yeah, guys, I know it's my birthday right now, and I know I've got a cake, but do not be fooled.
I am not celebrating.
Do not get it twisted. And how dare you assume that I am? Ableist.
I am not celebrating the trauma that caused it.
I'm not. I'm just simply not.
The disorder itself.
Even though I've got it written on the cake, I'm most certainly not.
The PTSD. I am not celebrating having DID. I am not glad that I have DID.
As I smile and laugh about it on this video. Guys, I'm not happy about this. As you can clearly tell by my very...
No, it's total code from her. It said like happy DID, what was it? Happy DID diagnosis or something like that. Clearly the intent, God, these people are such liars as well in every aspect of their fucking life. The whole point of it was you were celebrating getting diagnosed. You getting diagnosed with this was a happy thing for you. You know, without any external input, you decided that yourself to go and do that. And then when you got criticism, then that's when you fucking changed things up and mixed it up. God, oh dear, I can't really. These people are just. Oh, God. Okay,
very serious expression. And the cake I brought. Oh, DID. I'm gutted.
But going through your life not knowing, being extremely confused, distressed, and in danger. It was dangerous for me to not know.
She's so manipulative. Oh my God, I hate these videos. It almost makes it impossible to react to because she says something kind of like stupid and dumb at the beginning. Like, guys, I don't like it. Trust me. As she smiles and buys a cake. So you're like, ha, I got you. This is stupid. And then she then defends herself with something very serious. Like, yeah, okay, I actually can't argue with that. Yeah, but saying it's dangerous for you to not know, absolutely. But then do you really need to buy a cake and then make a photo shoot for your Instagram? Like, you know what I mean? I understand that maybe you want to tell people, but surely you only want to tell like people that are close to you. When I went to the doctors and they said I have head twitches, I didn't then go and think the first thing I need to do.
Dude, anyone that's ever had any sort of mental stuff, right? You do not want to go and fucking celebrate it. Like, you might tell people you know. Why would you make a cake out of it? Oh, God, I'm so angry. It's fine. Let's relax. We're having a good time, okay? I can't bear it, man. These people are wreckers. These people are total wreckers. And they should be excised from society, you know? I can understand feeling relief after getting a diagnosis because you finally understand what's wrong with you, but getting a fucking cake, come on. Yeah. Relief, or maybe you might even be troubled. You might be like, oh God, I'm a bit nervous about what this might mean and stuff like that, especially with a complicated thing like that. But yeah, I mean, celebration is it's like a lot of things with this leftoid shit now. It's obviously on the face of it absurd bullshit that you need to pander to in some way. Rather than just, I mean, the doctor has to pander because that's kind of, you know, he's got to be professional. But it's something we should just be able to go, no, you are not mentally ill in that way. Maybe you got something else wrong with you, but you don't have DID. No, you are not literally actually a woman. Okay? I'm touching on it, but I'm touching the gok. I'm touching the gok I'm touching tips with the gok, but we're not getting into it right now. But just know that's in there, okay?
Is buy a cake and celebrate this on Instagram. That people need to know. They've been waiting. Or when I got diagnosed with dyslexia, people need to know that I cannot read. The people must know. It's time for them to know. I'm going to buy a cake. I would write on it, but I wouldn't be able to read it. So what's the point? Damn, I can't buy a cake. I'll have to put a picture on the cake instead.
Share with pretty much everyone. I posted it on my Facebook account first to tell like my aunts and uncles and friggin' people I went to high school.
Who is this in chat? Chud's secret gok. Don't worry, Chud, I'm here for you. Okay.
with, and just any friends, any real life friends, people. I just wanted everyone to know. I just wanted it to be out there.
Is that not the response of someone that is glamorizing mental health as a whole? Don't know how I could have shown a better clip to further that point. I don't think there's a clip out there of someone talking about their mental health this happily. Look, again, I want to emphasize, I completely understand that you're happy. Absolutely. It can be probably a real pain in the ass to go through life and be confused and not understand what's going on and to get that diagnosis. Yeah, absolutely. You can be happy with that. Of course, you should be. In the sense that what a relief you finally have an answer to the question. Then the way you're talking about it just doesn't line up. Like for normal people, I just feel like they would only tell people that they actually speak to on a day-to-day basis. Putting it on Facebook, like I wouldn't even do that, bro. But even that would be a little bit more understanding. Like, okay, fair enough. I mean, it's a bit of a weird flex, but okay. Then yeah, you've just basically turned your whole channel into your mental illness now, and you put it on your Instagram. There has to become a point where it's like, okay, dude, you told everyone now, like you're good. You put it out there.
Because I know that I've been acting in patterns that seem like I am just one person who is having a lot of different conflicting opinions, forgetting things, blowing people off, like having undiagnosed, unmanaged DID and BPD and not knowing.
But the cake really changed all that. And guys, I gotta say, the icing was fucking delicious. It really changed my life. Great cake, by the way. I just can't get over.
We will end psychiatric religions of all kinds. I think that, yeah, I think there's a lot of bad shit smuggled in with some of the psychiatric shit because it is a soft science, right? There's a replication issue. I'm speaking as a layman about this, so, you know, bear that in mind. But, you know, there are issues with the whole aspect of it. And, yeah, I think it's a good place where you can probably smuggle in some bullshit, right? Oh, psychology. Oh. Okay. Is that not basically this? What's the difference? I don't know if it's pseudo, dude. I don't know if I call it pseudoscience, right? I think pseudoscience is a different thing to me. But anyway, the point is, I'm probably getting shit mixed up. Regardless, okay. There's a bunch of bullshit, and I think it's gay. Okay, there we go.
Over the cake video, man. I feel like that's gonna haunt her probably forever. I mean, it is kind of dumb, bro.
I felt like it was a...
Remember what the psychiatrist did with the woman in the 50s, the gays in the 80s, and the blacks in the 1800s. I agree, psychiatry is a wonderful science.
Huge relief to tell everyone and go, okay, now they know. Now they know. Now it doesn't feel like I'm
so
playing
loud,
this
dude?
big charade, pretending to be one single pixielocks with all of it together. Like, I'm not. I'm very confused. Please have some grace and I'll work it out.
Yeah, I'm also confused about the cake situation. Maybe if you could just give me some time to work it out, that would be muchly appreciated. Thank you.
So in my TikTok that I posted, I'm in the parking lot at a grocery store and I say, I'm going to attempt to JoJo Siwa it. A lot of people took issue with the fact that I got a cake. A lot of people took issue with the fact that it said happy, I think. Another big important thing I forgot to mention when I was going on about the JoJo Siwa thing, my main inspo for this was, yeah, the JoJo Siwa shirt just saying, gay cousin, I'm gay, here you go. As well as Kai Robinson and a lot of other people, when they get diagnosed with autism, they will get...
Congrats on the autism. Okay. You all need one of those in chat.
Get a cake that says like Happy Autism Day, congrats on the autism or whatever.
Congrats on the... Oh my god, what? Okay, actually, yeah. No, my bad. I didn't realize.
I think that is also stupid too. I mean, you know, yeah. Why are you getting a cake? I mean, okay, I guess I could maybe understand if you're feeling bothered about it and like a friend got one for you as a joke to try and cheer you up or something like that. I don't know. Maybe there's some situation where it'd be kind of a funny joke from a friend. It's also the aspect if it's about did, which is obviously you know, categorically a worse thing to have on the whole, right? I mean, someone that's got serious autism where you can't even participate in society, you know, probably won't get that kind of cake because it's more serious, right? But yeah, there's a situation where maybe there might be like some joke or something like that. But getting it for yourself is a crazy act. And then posting it on social media, you know, that's another aspect too. Anyway, the point is, I just think that we're comparing apples and oranges here. It's not really the same thing. And there is something that is potentially odd about the autism cake too.
Realize other people did it as well. That definitely makes it okay. Oh man, I gotta delete my video now. What? Okay, that's actually mental. Congrats on the autism. Huh? Go back to the point of me saying, yeah, I understand that you're happy about this.
Go back to Reddit, losers.
Is it weird? Can you guys let me know in the comments? Am I just being out of touch here? Like, is it weird to just have these cakes to be celebrating, like the fact that you got these
It is
disorders?
a bit weird.
Is it almost as if some of these people want these disorders and are happy by it? I mean, we know they are, but is it really that bad that people are now just straight up buying cakes? And what do you guys think about that? Like, is that, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of touch. Maybe that's a normal thing to do. But again, with any of the things that I've been diagnosed in the past, I don't know, bro. Like, buying a cake, I don't know, even really talking about it is kind of strange to me. And I rarely, like, bring it up unless I'm kind of making a joke about myself, which I probably do a bit too much. But I don't know, I find it fucking funny. I don't know. But to just buy a cake, it's a whole another level. Let me know.
The video featured in the seminar was taken from my TikTok, which has YouTuber as an occupation in the bio, and a link to my channel, which has a very convenient to navigate playlist of my videos about my dissociative identity disorder. On my channel, you will also see recent videos.
This is like the Jordan Peterson argument, isn't it? You need to watch 100 hours of my videos where I talk in detail about my, you know, non-existent mental disorders that I claim to have, actually. Then you can comment on what I've got to say. Give me a break, dude.
Videos about severe harassment and real-life stalking I've been victim to. It is incredibly easy to access all of this information. This seminar quickly brought a wave of harassment directly to me, which still hasn't stopped as I'm writing this. It has been 5 days. Around the time of the DID diagnosis, I happened to have a very supportive trauma-informed therapist and safe support network at the time that helped us cope with that fear, confliction, and shame and process.
I'm entering the darkness.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I'm gazing into the abyss.
Moved on pretty fast. I don't even know if I really believe that. It's like she says that, but literally on day one, you brought a cake. It seems like you were over it pretty quickly. And talking about like harassment and stuff, yeah, absolutely. Like even me making this video now, I don't want anyone who's watching this video to now go over to her channel and be like, "A place at this, yeah," and start harassing her. Like, no, don't do that. I'm absolutely to the belief where you should never harass anyone, guys. Don't say stuff in the comments, and I feel like the majority of people know this. You wouldn't say in real life. Just I think being nice to one another, like absolutely, 100% don't go stalk anyone. No, this is me primarily just making a video disagreeing with maybe some of the facts that she's said, and as far as that goes, I'm allowed to have my opinion, and absolutely she's totally allowed to have hers, of course. Stalking,
like, what is the logic then? So how does someone demonstrate adequately what they're talking about? I think it's totally legitimate. You know, it would be like if someone was talking about vaccines, right? And it was like, right, we've got some examples here of people who are faking having a reaction to a vaccine that isn't documented in any response or whatever, right? And it's one of the, you know, there was a spate of these fucking, you know, MAGA retards going like, I just took the vaccine and I'm shaking like this, you know? And it's like, that's obviously bullshit. And it would be totally fair to show that and be like, yeah, this person's full of shit, you know? Like, what other way is there to really truly demonstrate the issue? And by the way, okay, I'm gigavaxxed, first of all. But secondly, there were definitely like some side effects at a very limited level that I think, you know, did happen. But obviously, it's fucking ridiculous to think that someone would be caused to have this Parkinson's aspect of shaking and shit. It's just obvious nonsense, you know? I'm vax-maxing, exactly. I'm ultra-vaxxed. Gigavaxxed. I mean, to be honest with you, I would have got the original vaccine anyway. Because, you know, I believe in big pharma. I'm a big pharma guy. But I got the boosters mainly because at the time I had to get, I think, a booster to travel. I think in 2022 to TwitchCon, I had to get a booster or something like that. So yeah. Anyway, the point is, if there's someone faking some shit, it's totally legit that you would like show evidence of what you're talking about specifically. And here's an example of that. I guess a criticism you could make, I think it's retarded. You could say you should have censored it, you should have blocked it out, you know, you should have quoted the video, or you should have been more, you know. But then the thing is, they probably complain about that as well. Oh, some doctor talked about me and he said that I got a cake for, you know, they probably would complain about that anyway. I don't think there's a way to please these people. So, yeah, just crying over fucking nothing because you've been exposed. So obvious.
Or
so
hate
clear.
messages of any kind is just not okay.
My life was in shambles because we could not function. Job opportunities lost, friendships ruined, important dates forgotten. This was a disordered life. And I could not pretend that my BPD diagnosis explained away all the lost time and amnesia. The DID diagnosis was finally an answer that helped me access better care. The argument that I was not presenting as suitably distressed in that one video and therefore I am likely malingering is just unscientific.
Well, I kind of agree with that on some levels. It's like, you absolutely see how some...
Get autism, but now I can't stop doing the thug shake.
Thanks for the $5.
Some of the people get affected by these sort of diagnoses, and that's absolutely got to be some points to be made to how most people react to it. But then you have the other person on the other side being almost celebrating the fact that they have DID and being happy about it, and now making fun TikToks about it. Has to be a little bit strange, especially considering I'm sure this person has studied DID, the doctor, for probably just a very long time. To see something like this, absolutely. I think it is also something to question entirely. But he never really said it was scientific, and also said the fact that he isn't with 100% certainty saying that these people are malingering.
Guys, some funny news has just popped up, which we'll look at in a sec. Twitch related, funny Twitch related news.
But it's definitely hard to watch the ones with the cake video especially and not have that little thought in the back of your mind that something may be off here. Again, you've posted this online, expect for people to react to it. That's just a part of uploading content to the internet, and you out of anyone should know that better, especially considering you've been talking about that you've done this for 8 years. I don't know why this is a sudden shock to you all of a sudden.
I even state that the person that I was inspired by to reveal my diagnosis with the cake was an autistic person. I am not currently diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, as I do not have access to an evaluation for it for financial reasons, but it has been suggested by multiple professionals to me at this point, so it is my hypothesis that my autism affects the way I communicate. I had no idea.
She is fucking riddled. Worse than a gay going to a piss orgy with various disorders. What the fuck, bro? Now she's got fucking autism and BPD, got the whole list. Laundry list of issues.
Yeah, that writing my diagnosis.
Oh, hey, Cecil McFly. I want more I'm Alex drama. Yeah, listen, I'm up for more I'm Alex drama, but I don't really have much more at the moment. I'm gonna let it cook. I'm off for the next couple of days anyway, and then I'll be back on Thursday as normal. But I'm gonna let it cook for a bit. I'm sure there's gonna be stuff to happen. In that time, we may well have Alex's response as well. I reckon Alex's response might have come up by then.
On a cake to simplify breaking the news to friends and family would result in such never-ending harassment.
I mean, you must have had some idea. Also, I know we already have our own thoughts on people self-diagnosing themselves. So I'm definitely not going to get into that here. But to be using that as a very conveniently placed excuse in this video as your response, it's just a bit kind of shocking. You just basically self-diagnosed yourself and said that you have autism. So that kind of just gives you now a free pass to do certain things.
To insist that the real ones hide away in shame their entire lives is just not true. You are directly hurting real diagnosed individuals with dissociative.
No. What, dude? He was saying that he was very couch, dude. It's so. This is why. What's the point in being couched in your language with these fucking freaks, man? That's going to misrepresent you anyway. Fire from the hip. Come out, doctor guy, and just tell these people what they are straight. You couch your language so much, which I understand. You're a doctor, but it didn't make any difference anyway. They're still totally misrepresenting what you're saying. He was just saying, this does not align with my experience of treating these patients. I can't say from a distance what they do and don't have, but it just doesn't align with our understanding of it in a clinical setting, right?
identity disorder and defaming patients to other professionals who very well may end up treating those exact patients.
This is the one that I actually had a bit to say about, because them saying this and then basically doing the exact same thing as they go on TikTok and create fun, quirky videos, the same with a lot of people, making fun almost of the diagnosis and just not treating it that serious. Again, buying a cake, a happy DID cake, downplays this massively. You are causing just as much damage in this case as, say, the doctor by showing this type of side of it to people online, and then starts to have a negative effect online when people watch this type of stuff and then they really just can't take it that serious. That's when you start getting the stigma of people online saying that this type of stuff doesn't even exist because maybe they're only experienced with people talking.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. Do you know what I really would like now to really top this off is a video from a doctor that's critical of it. Not like one of these YouTube doctors. I mean, like just a doctor doing a presentation like that. Like it's a bit dry for stream probably, but I just want to see the other argument because I would imagine there's probably a case they would make that DID is there's a mental illness there, but to refer to it or use that terminology and suggest that there's like multiple identities is probably the wrong way to do it and there's another way to characterize it or something. I guess that's what it would probably be.
Talking about this will be like a 14-year-old pretending to as dream. Yeah, if that's your only experience with this type of mental illness, I don't really blame you for not thinking it exists as a whole. All in all, I agree with some of the things she says, absolutely, but yeah, there's some points to be made here for the other side. Again, I don't want anyone to go and send any hate or anything like that. It's just kind of interesting to watch this. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you all in tomorrow's video.
Honestly, I quite like this video. I'm often critical of the kind of, the commentary, like they're playing video games, giving basic takes about shit. But that was actually pretty good, pretty informative. Brought some good stuff together, had some good takes. Yeah. Ablaze. Good shit. Oh my god. Is that did they cover dissociated as well? Bro, this guy looks like he's upped his game as well. I love this guy. I'll link his channel if you've not seen it. But yeah, I'm gonna have a look at this more. I want to cover more TikTok shit. I think it's fun, like the DID shit.